Hello everyone, and welcome to the Rampage League Finals with with the match between uh ten wait I never Tenbrus Esports Astro and Dynasty Amethyst. Dynasty Amethyst currently unbeaten, not only in series but also in games coming into this final. And Tenbrus T, as we'll be calling them, have only lost to Dynasty Amethyst. So it's almost a clash of titans between these two teams here. We are about to get into the game shortly, but yeah, coming into this game, we have we have cinematic gaming with me as my color caster.
Hello again.
Yeah, and I'm here. We're both unfortunately covering today, for the two Rampage casters. But yeah, it should be fun and exciting as we're getting into this series. And yeah, we've been looking, and the last time these two played, it was a bit of demolition in the round robin there for Dyna. But we are getting into draft right away, so straight into the action. I'm just waiting. As coming into this game, I'm expecting to see a lot of priority on the Heiter pickets and AD carry. Both of them have love, but as we've looked through their past games, there are quite a few pocket picks that might come out. Syndra banned away, very dominant. It's a popular pick for the mid laner there of Dyna, likes their strong scaling carries that. Syndra definitely fills into that role, and Jarvan is going to be banned away on the other side.
And one thing I always want to keep out in best of five, especially, is how the draft evolves over the first two games, and that's maybe if we go past 3 games, how that evolves. Knowing that these teams have played against each other before, and it's always gone in the favor of Dynasty, I expect TA to be flexible when it comes to drafts, and especially the bans and what they're having trouble with. So,
yeah,
the bans, the first round, okay, they don't want to play against it, but it's after this first game that I'll be really interested to see how they progress throughout the series.
Yeah. It looks like T are focusing that mid lane there. They're focusing a lot of mid laners that can have this pressure, can set up for the jungle, and there's the Ashe banned away as well. So unless Kai'Sa doesn't get banned away in this R3 here, it can be first picked. To note, there is Kai'Sa nerfs on this patch. If both of the teams have scrimmed, it's going to be their first game on this new patch, I believe. So maybe both teams have played, they practiced around it, and they might just not like Kai'Sa here. They might not like Kai'Sa on a patch, or maybe Dyna are willing to give it over. They're going to ban Ivan here, so they are going to be willing to give it over if it wants to be picked up there. Ivan is just another one of those junglers. Did get nerfed just a tad.
Oh, there it is.
Yeah, there's the Kai'Sa first pick, and it's going to be Kog'Maw in response.
I was instant lock too. No thought about it. We want that Kog'Maw.
Yeah. I mean, I think this is obviously planned, right? They're like, we're gonna give up ISO on red side. They're gonna go toward the first pick, and we're gonna pick up Kog'Maw here. It has been played somewhat around the world. I'm not sure how much on the Risen, how much its AD carry has practice on it. I think they have a few games, but yeah, Kog'Maw generally paired with the Brawl most recently, but also obviously Kog'Maw Lulu is the most common lane there. It's just a safe scaling pick in that bot lane role that can almost nullify the Kai'Sa. Can go a similar build as her, not towards the static shift, but has the wave clear as well. And it's going to be the Wukong and Maokai and Zac.
Okay.
Whoa, what's happening
there? We're going very green on the blue side.
Yeah, it's the Wukong and Maokai are junglers that were traded throughout all of the season, pretty much. Both just strong tier junglers, which could have a good team fight impact. But
I'm curious to know if they really are actually going to flex that Maokai and Zac between top and jungle, depending on what the top laner for Dynasty is going to be. Because I noticed on Dynasty sides they have two kind of anti-jump on bands with Jarvan and Tristana who like to jump on you and, lock you down. And they're like, no, we're engaging into you. Maokai ult, Zac, we're charging in. And Dynasty is answering with the Alistar saying, nope, go away.
No, you're not going to gun top me. Indeed. Yeah, I mean, I think it's interesting that they're trying to keep this flex open. Zac and Maokai can both be flexed between 3 roles pretty comfortably. They can all go into the top jungle and support. Yeah. I think it's something that these teams, both of them, have liked to do, flex their jungle support top laner. So they're leaving everything open coming into their last 2 picks on blue side. They're taking a minute dynasty on this band.
Yeah. If I'm Dynasty, I'm kind of wanting to try to pinch in that mid lane pool, especially a bit more because so far they've kind of abandoned, unless you count the Trist as a mid lane ban as well. But
Yeah,
no, I think they're still banning the top lane as focus. I think TA has a pretty good top side in terms of the skill, so they're looking to make sure they can't get many carries from that side.
Yeah, and I think on the side of Dynasty, they seem maybe convinced that it's going to be Maokai and Zac flex between the support and the jungle rather. It's going to be Set banned on the other side, so I'm not quite sure, but maybe Set is often quite a nullifying pick as well. Can just go quite equal in lane, have that big team fight impact. And Olaf is, by the way, maybe I think I've seen a Mordekaiser pick a couple times if they are trying to blind that. That's Yone keeping it flush between the mid and top lane there, and quite a massive fan of that here, especially with all the ambiguity. But can obviously Yone can be countered quite hard if he doesn't get ahead in that lane. He can struggle until he gets to that 2-3 item spike, especially into a comp where he is going to struggle to go in sometimes with the Maokai.
Well, they do have good combo with the Alistar, if you want to focus one person down and knock them up. But the problem is that everyone on TA seems to be pretty slippery. I mean, Kai'Sa is known to be a slippery champion, and you don't exactly want to just purely engage on the Zac or Maokai. And Victor, you could also engage on, though. That's a good...
You can engage on Victor, famously immobile.
Look, if you look at the two teams, on one side is super heavy AD, the other side is super heavy AP, assuming this Kai'Sa does go more AP. So unless they lock an AD threat here, this is very heavy into one form of damage.
Yeah, I think they are either going to lock in a big heavy AD top laner or jungler here. I would suspect. That's
no!
Be the Braum picked up.
Okay, so I still don't know if the Zac or Maokai is which one's going where now. Is the question.
We don't know which one is flexing where, but I'm not too sure how I feel about the Braum here. Obviously, if Alistar, Wukong, Yone, they're all trying to engage, Braum is good to just counter all that engage. Right, put that shield up as Alistar is charging in.
It can be good just so the combo blocks a lot of that damage, but as soon as that shield goes down, though, you have to have killed the Kog'Maw, or else the Kog'Maw will still kill you.
Yeah.
Waiting now to finish the draft. There's the AP I was looking for, but that is now a really heavily scaling comp on Dynasty. I mean, that's scaling in all 3 lanes, essentially.
Yeah, this Swain Yone, they're both gonna be big when they're in their 3 item spikes. This Kog'Maw's gonna be able to just farm up a storm here, and I think on the side of TK, they need to be looking to make an impact in this bot lane early. They need to make sure they can use this ranged advantage of the Victor, maybe roam him down into the bot lane there, get Maokai or Zac, whichever one is going to be in the jungle, try to get a dive onto this Kog'Maw. You need to make sure Kog'Maw stays behind in this lane, maybe get a couple of those early kills onto Victor, allow him to start getting his scaling up there. And yeah, I think Dynasty, obviously, if this goes late, they have an incredible comp for the team fight, right? And then when they can obviously pick up their boots, pick up some MR, pick up some tenacity, it's going to be looking quite difficult for T to start shredding through those health bars, especially if Kai'Sa is going to go towards a more AP build. Maybe this is...
I'm always expecting that's not going to be the... I mean, you just have so much AP on every other member. It's like, you just build some MR. I mean, Kog'Maw could just go a Hex Drink or Wit's End, and, now he's not even killable, even if you do dive on him, so...
Yeah, because...
it's going to be a problem, potentially.
It could potentially be a problem. You'd have to imagine Kai'Sa might be able to go towards the AD build. It's not been the most popular as of late, obviously with the static shift into AP build just being by far almost a better option with how strong static shift was. But maybe with the nerfs, I personally do quite enjoy AD Kai'Sa still. I think she can offer quite a lot of what the AP Kai'Sa does in these team fights with the Navori Quick Blaze build. She still has the wave clear. She can still pick up that static shiv, and then the auto Q with the Navori can just shred through those waves still. So I think, I would like to see her go towards an AD build here. Otherwise, I really think they're going to be struggling for the mixed damage if Dynasty pick up some MR here. But you have to start to look towards what T can do, how they can get their advantage. because obviously I think everyone sees that Dynasty do have the scaling advantage in this game, right?
Yeah, and not only that, I think Dynasty has drafted really well here
Mhm.
because if Kai'Sa does go AP, I mean, there you go, you have the full
Yeah,
AP
yeah.
comp, we can just build around that. But if she does go AD, that means she has to be close by to do damage. Well, guess what? Kog'Maw already outranges, so Wukong and Alice are
Yeah.
like, cool, I want to jump on you if you're close to me,
Mhm.
and then you have the follow-up with the Swain and Yone. So no matter what Kai'Sa does build here, I think there's disadvantages all across the board.
Yeah, I mean, there's obviously angles, right? If they can get into these team fights, Victor can be big, and also they have to and if Kai'Sa does go towards this AD build, if they do get this mixed damage going, then I think Victor and Kai'Sa will be able to start shredding through in the late game, especially because I think it all relies on if in these team fights Maokai and Zac can land their engage, right?
Mhm.
And if they do hit that engage, Victor can get a Chaos Storm throughout all the team, start shredding through those health bars. And during all the mess, Kai'Sa loves a messy fight, especially an AD Kai'Sa. She can dive into that backline, try to assassinate that Kog'Maw. Because they do have the opportunity with this Maokai Zac Kai'Sa to get on this Kog'Maw. Although Alistar will try his absolute damn hardest to try to keep him off, right?
Yeah. I mean, both teams have a form of engage, but those forms
Yep.
of engages can also be used to pure. So it's all about who's going
Mhm.
to pull the trigger first and how effectively that trigger is going to be against the enemy team.
Yeah, and it's just gonna be interesting to see how coordinated these teams are coming into this
Ah,
coming into this
okay.
final. They've had their final. uh
Oh, this is interesting. So they're going to put the Maokai top side, and that's actually, I was thinking it was going to be Maokai Yone top with the Swain going against the Victor, so you could have that scaling, but no, they're going to put the more aggressive Yone into
mhm.
match with the Victor instead.
Yeah, and then the I think they want the Yone to uh, obviously just try get on top of these Victor, try get him behind, make sure he can't have the ability to ram up. Because I think if you put the Swain into him, they'll just go even in lane. Then Victor can be able to ram around and help his jungler. I think they're looking to use this Yone level 3 to get on top of Victor, poke him out, make him recall, and then do something with their advantage and protect the AD carry here is maybe what they're more thinking. They're gonna let Swain just stack up off this Maokai, and scale up into the big monster he can be.
I actually do like that. I think this actually makes it so both lanes
Mhm.
on Dynasty are actually less gankable. You have a
Yeah,
huge amount
yeah.
of setup with the Maokai, but Swain being ranged has a lot more gap
Mhm.
that needs to be cleared for that Maokai with Yone being melee. So I actually think that is a good way to put the lanes.
Yeah. I would tend to agree with you. But no, yeah. Oh, I can't remember quite what I was saying. So yeah, no, actually, I do remember. I think it's going to be interesting to see how coordinated these teams are. Obviously, the two top teams in the league, right? And
Yeah.
there has to be a reason for that. And you would guess one of the reasons is this synergy that these teams bring, especially around the team fights, especially with the Dynasty drafting a comp like this, T drafting a comp like this. Um, where it's all about the team fight, it's all about the scaling, and it's all about these big clashes over these objectives. It's just going to be the team who's more coordinated and more ready and wants it more. It's going to take this victory home, I believe.
We're going to get some very explosive fights, that's for sure. At least
Yeah,
that's what I'm
definitely.
hoping for.
Yeah. Do you have any final thoughts before we go toward a break?
No, one last thought I guess I was just thinking of was that depending on how bursty that TAEA is managing to be, I mean, Kog'Maw and Swain love prolonged fights, right?
Yeah.
They're just known for that. So if TAA can't kill the enemy's carries in just a few seconds, then I'm going to start worrying about how they're going to actually manage to win this game. But we will see
Yeah.
what that happens.
Yeah, so I think before we get into this exciting first game of the series, we are going to go on our break just as we're waiting for our spectator delay. But we will be right back. Don't quite go anywhere. Welcome everybody to game one of the Rampage League finals. It's going to be an exciting one here on the Summoner's Rift as both teams line up ready to engage in combat. I don't know what I'm saying, sorry. It's just going to be a wall drop there in the Pixel Brush from the red side, from Wukong on the side of Dynasty.
First damage has been gone down.
Yeah.
I think it's Red Team trying to push them around, which, you know, it's already been collapsing from TA. I don't think you want to take a level 1 fight when you're full scaling comp. Only going to get pushed back. That might have some major ramifications if they can get this kill here. Flash is still available. One more. Flash is back into the Kai'Sa. That's not what you want to do. And that is not the stop that Dynasty was looking for.
Yeah, no, not at all. And I mean, it's not going to mean that Yone's not going to miss any minions for that. Cogmos spamming in bot lane is going to see if he can try to deny Kai'Sa any minions there. But yeah, flash for flash. One positive there for Dynasty is that Kai'Sa does have both their summoner spells blown. Wukong is starting topside, so maybe they're saying we can we can try focus this Kai'Sa. No summoners, no escape until they get to that level 6 marker, until their summoner spells are back up. So yeah, it's there's slight positives, but obviously a kill having the 10 extra AD on that Kai'Sa is not what you're looking for in your start off. So flashless mid laner. I don't think it's gonna.
That was the trade-off, wasn't it? That yes, Kai'Sa becomes easier to gank, but so does Yone, and Yone doesn't have a support helping him. So
no. I mean, Yone shouldn't be the most gankable here, but if Zac finds the angle, then it's going to be then there could be problems for the Yone there in the mid lane.
Yeah, as long as Zac hits a CC, Victor can just W down the ground during it and should get double CC'd, and I don't think he has much chance of surviving. And he also has the push going in mid lane as well, so he's going to be pushed up further than he wants to be.
Yeah, I mean, he's just going to be, he was carrying through those minions, maybe got a little too happy there. Gonna want that to come back into him. If possible. Just trading happening at all places. Wukong is going for probably a 5-limp clear, as Zac is going for the full clear, so Wukong will only be level 3 as they get to what side skirmish if it does come to such a situation. For goods of skipping those Krugs. So that could have impact on the fight. Both Zac has quite a surprising clear speed. No, I was just kind of caught off guard by how much quicker Zac is clearing. Wukong isn't especially known for his clear, but no, it's just surprising to me.
Yeah, ever since the jungle pets were introduced, I noticed that Zac was one of those champions that got helped. I mean, he has the AoE with his E and his W, which means he takes those wraiths and wolves quicker than, you know, junglers like Wukong, which only has a tiny AoE attack damage.
Yeah.
But yeah. I was also at that Swain is just completely bullying this Maokai on the top side, and knowing that Wukong started on his red side, probably knows that Zac is also going to try to be there for the counter gank, so he just has complete freedom to punish this Maokai in these early stages. I don't think we're going to see any action. Zac's already back on the bot side, and Wukong's just going for the crab, so no second blood happening yet.
That is going to be the double crab for the Wukong, and now he's just going to build up a small advantage there. Being just the crab up, not the big crabs yet, still those small little nerfed crabs. Actually, Zac is moving up. Maybe he has the ability to fight this, but Yone's got his base, he's got his boots cleaver on Yone, and there's top push on the Swain.
Zac should win this. He has the red buff advantage now over the Wukong, because he got it second.
No,
Swain W also coming down up though. Thanks them go away.
No, managed to no, actually it was Wukong, sorry, that secured the crab, so just gonna be a bit of trading. Wukong still got that double crab there. It's gonna have that small advantage, and this is a lot of damage coming out onto the Maokai there. But yeah, no, if it was smart of Zac to back off, not take the fight. Obviously, Yone and Swain both had moved there. Yone had that first recall as well, teleporting back into the mid lane, so would not have gone well into 3v3, I believe. But now it's trading. This Swain is running quite low on mana, but the Maokai's running quite low on health, so
yeah, has already used 2 of his biscuits, I believe.
Yeah.
I do think it's very smart for this Maokai to go after Aftershock though, instead of the regular grass plant dying, knowing that he's not really going to get on top of the Swain that often. And if he did get on top of the Swain, Swain probably still wins that trade. So he's going for more of the team-oriented build instead of the lane grass procs, which is a pretty smart move, I think.
Yeah, this is something you see on quite a few of these champions when they just know they're going to lose lane. Something like Lissandra as well is just going to take that grasp as Wukong's moving in.
Trying to get collapse on the Kai'Sa, but Kai'Sa kind of has her flash up now, so a little bit too late to get this. But instead, they're going onto the Braum. Braum puts a shield up, blocking a bunch of damage, allowing Zac to drop in, get the Q off onto the Wukong, manage to take him down even with flashing away. Instead, that's... Wait. Oh, Swain got a solo kill on the top lane during all that. Maokai actually went down, but they're still chasing down the Kog'Maw. At the end of the day, that's going to be 2 kills going over to TA on the bot side of the map as they lose the top side member.
Yeah, I think on the top side there, Swain just, and then Maokai just disrespected the level 6 from Swain. Swain just managed to get that extra bit of burst damage. But
yeah, I see his ult's on cooldown.
Yeah, I think the tracking on the side of Dynasty of the Zac there was lackluster to say the least. They took the fight and then they burnt all their abilities into trying to kill a Braum with shield up. So yeah, they just weren't attacking at quite the right moments. And then once all their abilities were on cooldown, Zac managed to come in with this massive AOE. Kai'Sa managed to get a second round of spells off, and they secured those couple kills there.
It was just they got caught in an AoE choke, right? Zac managed to E in, and you know, it's perfect for Zac. Just easy Q to follow up, have a bunch of CC, you lack the damage as Kog'Maw Alistar early, you don't really burst anyone, and so they just simply turn it and take 2 kills.
Yeah, Wukong, I think Wukong was thinking, oh, I skip my bot side camps, I have the ability, Zac won't be here, I'm a lot faster than him, so we can go for this play, but no, obviously Zac has the ability to launch from quite far away, so just disrespecting that timing there.
Okay, playing far more aggressive in this lane now. Now that he's got his technically first item off, but it is just the Negatron Cloak, not offering too much in the way of damage or even resistances. And Zac has his completed, you know, cooldown boots, so he's going to be moving around the map a lot faster than this Wukong. And, you know, for a scaling comp, you're not too worried yet. You know, you still have the late game, but it's not really going off as well as you expected, and you've already lost the first dragon.
Yeah. One thing to note, Victor is starting to get towards his stack. He's only 23 stacks away now, picking up that early assist, which we didn't quite mention. So once he gets to that point, he's going to be able to shove through these waves a lot quicker. And all this pressure Yone has managed to gain things like that fight over the top crab at the 4th minute with Wukong securing that would go a lot differently if Victor had that E upgrade there. So that's something to keep right on as Braum is moving in to help this Victor shove out the wave, get a recall in.
I know this is Dynasty on the red side, who have not lost a single game all season. To lose game 1 of a best of 5, I mean, I'm not going to say they're going to tilt from it. It's definitely not the start you'd want coming in as the overwhelming favorites.
No.
Going aggressive on the Rift Herald. Swain's popping the ultimate, going to keep it going for a little while, but he's completely 1v4 and no follow-up support and gets taken down. And that's just going to be Rift also going to 2 over TA. This is complete crap so far from Dynasty.
Yeah, Swain was just checking the Rift Herald, and when they moved up the support there, Alistar hadn't quite moved up away from this.
Oh, Braum getting collapsed on, but no, instead Victor just turns it, completely bursts him down. And now trying to turn on to the Alistar as well. Don't think they'll be able to get that kill. They are going to try to get it. Alistar being forced away. Oh, put a Ignite down on the Braum. Just 1 tick too short. Oh my goodness, this is not the Star Dynasty was looking for at all.
Yeah, no, Braum barely surviving there, but
oh, I think and now we're going on the bot side. This is just chaos all across the board, from Rift to mid lane, down to the bot side. Kai'Sa will win this 1v1 though, so hey, there's even more disaster happening on the way. Can TA do anything wrong at this point?
No, it's not looking like it. Well, I think a lot of it is just good reactive, counteractive plays there. The Zac, finding the engage in that bot side was obviously the first one, and then also it was Swain trying to do some proactive look towards the Rift Herald, try to kill Zac off it, and that just led to a cascade effect of people of the side of TA just collapsing in on that Rift Herald, picking up that kill on the Swain, and then that also led to Yone feeling like he needed to do something in this lane before Victor hit this hits this spike, which he has now hit. So yeah, I think it's just they're trying to go too fast, too hard, and also I'm not quite too sure how Cogmore got into that situation in the bot lane. I think Kaiser just was on top of it. It's just a lot of disrespect coming out here. So
He tried to get off a greedy back, decided against it, and went for the 1-1 and didn't work. And we see Swain having picked up the Merc trade. Now that's even less damage that you're going to be able to do. I don't know how you're going to fight for even the second Rift Field at this point. I think you're just giving up objectives for the next 15 minutes to hit 2 or even 3 items and hoping they don't enter for them.
yeah.
I mean, this Maokai's just not taking as much damage anymore. He should... Okay, if you go aggressive, that's the one way you might be able to dive. If we pop the ult here. Both ults now traded. He will be able to get away, but... And yeah, both solo laners trying to get a solo kill on the point from Dynasty. They're saying, we're behind in gold maybe, but that doesn't mean we can't kill you, as they force the flash from Victor, but still taking him down anyway, as the bot lane's also trading. Maokai's actually winning it on this top side, having Swain managed to wait out his ultimate. Both super low on mana. I don't think he's going to be able to get the kill, but all lanes are fighting, and Dynasty so far is the one that's winning.
Yeah, and that's going to be the wave crouching. That's not too bad, all in all, for Swain. But no, yeah, it was a good angle. Vix is like, I'm so far ahead right now, I can step up, I can take this 1-1. And he was almost winning with a well-placed gravity field. But it was a good gang from Wukong coming in with a good bait from Yone there to pick up that kill in the mid lane. But all in all, it's going to still be the side of T picking up that second dragon there with this massive bot lead, although it's saying that Cogmore has skipped his boots, gone straight to that flamethrowing king purchase, which has been big for him. It's his it's one of his core items, but now it's, let me just check the gold lead. Yeah, like a 1.4k gold lead between the AD carries there. Kaiser now basing picking up her Kraken's level with her Berserker Greaves. It's just that blade drinking there for the Cogmore.
So silver linings, though, it is the Dragon Soul that's going to be on the map, and if you're a Dynasty, you don't really care about the Dragon Soul, considering how much you want prolonged fights anyway, so as long as you can still survive the initial gauge, Mountain Soul shouldn't make too much of a difference. The main problem is still, you know, just getting to the point where they actually can survive that long, because with Kai'Sa being turbo ahead at this point, and is going AD build instead of the AP, they can't now itemize pure AP, pure MR against this team, so, you know, if they can't shut down this Kai'Sa, I feel like she's just going to run over the map.
Yeah, it's something they need to they need to look out for. They need to start to nullify this blade. This Wukong needs to be going to the bot side, as it's going to be the Herald spawns.
That's just the Zac picking up. Oh, sorry. Yeah, okay. I thought he took the second one. I was like, wait, that way too early. No, it is putting it down, getting this Kai'Sa even more ahead. Yep. She's the problem. All right.
Yeah, and now on the side of
oh, going in.
Quick engage.
Oh, and Yone's now behind them too. At 3v3 on the bot side. Wukong's not here. Missed ult. Going onto the Kai'Sa. Kai'Sa's ulting away. That burn is not going to be enough to take her down. But Braum shield saving her with the auto attack. Kog'Maw is now not in range anymore. Beautiful play by the Braum. Now Kog'Maw is in no man's land. His team's behind him. That's not what the Kog'Maw is supposed to be. As Zac jumps in yet again. Isn't able to get the Q off. Gets onto the Alistar, but Yone gets away. Wukong now trying to join in. Flashes onto the Braum. Ults it. Picks up all through with the ult. Here comes the second round. Spin? No, spin just in time before Victor manages to take him down, and that's a huge re-engage from the Yone. But Wukong still goes down. Zac's still alive! He didn't manage to go down, and now they're going to pick up Alistar. Yone is one hit away. He can't do anything. He goes back in, though, but not before the Victor Laces takes him down. And that was a huge chaotic fight, but in the end, TEA comes out on top.
Yeah, that was a chaos of emotions there. It all started where it's looking like just like quite an even fight. It looked like the Wukong was going to come and clean up. Then Maokai channels his teleport, and it's like it looked like the whole fight was going to change. There was a big E from Swain stopping that Maokai teleport coming through. Really well played there from the top laner to not make that a run over fight. But then
MVP to the Swain, and also that Braum, he saved the Kai'Sa, and he prolonged that fight so long with the shield. I mean, without Braum me being the support, but I felt like that was 90% the Braum saving that fight.
Yeah, the Braum played it incredibly clutch then, and also the Zac just staying alive. It wasn't quite what they were expecting. They didn't have just that last bit of damage to kill him. Wukong without this Divine Sign or Respite can feel a little lackluster at times. Not always, but just failed to get that last bit of damage off. Like the
I'd trade for the Yone.
You needed to, yeah.
Wukong now potentially getting cut out. Zach just wanting to go for this 1v1, but Swain is their support, but I think Wukong does not have the damage. He does not even have his Sundra yet. And Maokai's like, yeah, you want to take a fight? I got a full Sunfire Zach with me. I think we can beat you with 2 tanks against Wukong, and goes instantly down now. Swain just has to retreat. Wonder if they're going to get out here. Don't have too much damage. I mean, Merc Treads on the Swain will help the survivability. It takes a lot of damage onto the Victor. Now he's just trying to turn it. Where'd Zach go? He just decided, no, I don't want you anymore. But Kaiser now jumping in. Where'd Kaiser come from? I got my ult. I'm joining the fight. And now Swain will be going down because the aid... What? Almost takes down the Kaiser. Okay, Swain's a bit of a problem, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, Swain definitely can't be a problem standing inside that Arch. He hasn't no armor yet, and he's also, what is it, 2 levels up on her? But no, they're gonna move the whole team into the top side. They're gonna rotate up, try to crack down this top turret. Victor teleports into the bot lane to respond to their Cogmore there, but overall, yeah, it's just they overloaded this side lane. They managed to kill the Swain Wukong there, and it's still though. It feels like that play all started off Wukong trying to walk in and trying to make something happen, and it still feels reactive here from the side of TEA, but no, it was well responded, moving the bot lane up, well fought, and although it was incredibly close, this Swain did a lot of damage and didn't take a lot of damage with those Merc Treads picked up there.
Hey, imagine if the whole red team was there, maybe they actually would be able to win a fight, but instead they're just getting scraped out in like 1v1s, 2v2s, 3v3s, and they're just not going their way. But maybe in a 5v5, we'll see what happens on that. But that's both early objectives going over to TA, both rest the first 2 dragons, as now we're setting up for the 3rd dragon. Dynasty does not want to let it go, as a huge scuffle is about to immense. Now the Swain not coming out, as Yone is trying to jump in onto the Kaiser, gets on the backline. Maokai not able to peel off, going very wide. Kaiser does manage to survive, as now everyone's limping away from TAA, and despite losing all the scuffers, they do win the 5v5.
Yeah, they do win the 5v5 indeed. So Maokai's just looking for that a little bit more. They need to be careful with Zach re-engage here. Well, actually, no, they don't. He's 1 HP. Where is he?
1 HP. I think he still does have passive up, though.
He does still have passive.
He
could look for a bit of a steal, but it would be giving his life away. Kaiser decides to recall. Maokai and Victor are gonna push in this mid wave.
Yeah, they did get the mid turret though, so not the worst case. They didn't lose any members and got a mid turret.
Yeah, but overall it's well played around that fight. They managed to this Yone managed to find his angle onto the Kai'Sa, and I think in this fight, this Yone and Wukong can be incredibly scary. The Zach Victor need to find a way to mark these two. Wukong, sorry. They need to find a way to mark these two.
Primal getting caught out now. I don't think there's any escaping from that one. Getting greedy for the tower and getting taken down.
Yeah, this Cogmore's not having the best game. The KD is not looking the best for any player on the side of Dynasty, but it's not looking all too lost. It's only a 5k gold lead, and you expect it to be quite a bit more with a couple turrets fallen and or just the 1 turret fallen, sorry, and the 13-3 scoreline there. But no, it's they did find their way onto Kai'Sa, and they need to find a way to stop Yone and stop Wukong from getting onto this Kai'Sa, getting onto this victim. Because as we saw there, the Yone got onto this Kai'Sa, forced out the ultimate mobility. Then Kai'Sa doesn't have that to get onto the Cogmore. Then Cogmore just had the ability to hit the front line. Obviously, at this point, they're so incredibly far behind. Their tanks are just too tanky. They couldn't quite shoot through. They couldn't quite find a kill. But Cogmore did manage to get those health bots low enough that they could secure the dragon. So when this Cogmore starts to scale up, he starts to get towards that Quincy's Rage Blade. He'll be doing a lot more damage in these fights, and then he will start to eventually shoot through these front line.
But instead, then we might get a shutdown onto the Victor here. That's a huge Wukong ult. I don't think Victor's going to be able to escape from this one. Does have flash build, but decides to hold on to it, and that's a lot of gold going over to the Swain, who didn't really need it, but definitely wants it.
Yeah, I think the Swain wants to get towards his second item as quickly as possible. Just be this big drain tank, making sure that no one can kill him, dishing out so much damage. Oh,
perfect timing for the Zac. Managed to get out. Kaiser's now flying in, and Yoni's like, I'm in the wrong place. Ooh, that was a lot of follow-up. As now Maokai's going aggressive on the Swain, because he knows Swain doesn't have his ult anymore. I don't think Maokai has the damage, but looks like he's going to try. This might be a long fight.
does have his ultimate up there. I'm not sure if you know this.
Oh no, right, it was the Wukong ult.
Uh-huh.
Not the Swain ult. Okay, now a fight also happening in the mid lane. No moments of rest here as everyone likes fighting across the map. Kog'Maw Flash is being forced to come out as well as the Alistar. Wukong's now here to engage, but Wukong doesn't have his ultimate. Swain takes the bow on the bot side as Victor's now TPing in to join the fight. One more hit onto the Braum, but he limps away with 1 health. Flash from the Wukong, going back to the bot side. I think Swain now is going to be able to take down this Maokai. Finally, maybe, it's eventually happened. Just give it a couple more seconds. Maokai has no mana, he's not escaping. Yeah, he's down. That's the second kill onto the solo map. Both Maokai's deaths come from solo kills to the Swain now.
Yeah.
And that's not good when a full MR Maokai, like the only MR threat's the Swain, and if the full Magic Boost Maokai is dying 1v1 to the Swain, that's not ideal.
No, but it does show that Maokai believes that his only real threat is going to be this Kog'Maw. It's just going to be this Swain, and I do think that could come to catch up with him. I think that possibly just going towards this full AD when this Yone and when this Kog'Maw do scale, because they will if they keep hitting keep hitting this gold, they will start to get on towards their items. So I think maybe him going into this full MR could be punishing for him. I think he's going towards the is that the even trials components?
I wouldn't be surprised considering that Braum went locker. Even Shroud's definitely picked up in popularity for solo laners the past few months. Oh, Kaisig might be getting caught out here. Now start getting on top of it. No, doesn't look like it. As now Wukong's the target, doesn't have his W up, has to use it to get in, and I think he's just going to get chased down. And that's my... Is it going to lead to a Baron? Are they going to be that crazy?
I mean, that is the jungler dead, and this Kai'Sa with on her 2.5 items does have the ability to shred through it. Zach's just cutting through some of these wards here. And a Baron would mean that the side of Dynasty have the setup for their second dragon there if they so want it, but I don't think this dragon is really contestable. They're gonna give it a try.
Going? Is he looking for the Yone?
Yone's got a good flank angle.
They do have a good flank around, but it is still a 4v5 against Greyfed, and the Swain is going to go in as Yone looks to get onto the Victor. Kaisa is still feeding on the backside though, as lots of damage coming out on all ends. The Swain is drain tanking, but Yone is the first to go down. Kog'Maw is trying to kite his best. Zach jumps onto him as Kaisa then gets on top, managing to take him out. Are they both going to go down the process? Yes. One Kaisa goes down, not managing to survive the fight, and Zach Kaisa does get popped, so he's technically going to stay alive, as Dynasty now has to run for the hills, but do stop the Baron. But now it's gone on so long that Wukong managed to get back in. Look, the Maokai peeled though, he's not going to be able to stay onto that Victor, and at the end of the day, good one. Dynasty, they stop the dragon, stop the Baron, but lose 3 members and take down 2.
Yeah, see, it was I think that was well played in that 2v in that 4v5 situation. This Swain managed to get a couple kills back. It is still 3 more kills and a lot more gold going over towards this guy's Phantom Dance, and how picked up she is on her 3 items compared to 1.5.
Oh, double TP coming out. They do not want to give this dragon up.
But yeah, no, it was really well played for by them to stall for this dragon. And it was a bit of a shame that they couldn't find anything else on the backside. I don't think Swain managed to cast for Demon Flare, the second part of his ultimate there, which I think if casted in the right situation could have really, really changed that fight, as maybe you're being engaged on here.
Yeah, he's not going to, I mean, that E is not going to take you to safety, but they're going to get snapped back as Maokai's come back in to join. I think they're just leaving him for dead. Yep. He tried his best, but his best was not good enough.
No, just a bit gold waiting for that IE there. A bit of gold, and they're looking straight towards this Baron here. Yeah, Wukong is running straight out of base, but I'm not sure they have the ability to do it. I think they are gonna...
That was both TPs blown by the Yone Swain to stop the dragon, and instead Yone goes down and they go back to the Baron.
There's just gonna be red things toward the Drake there, so they're just gonna give up this Baron. That's gonna be a 1,500 gold injection, plus obviously the Baron buff. Gonna move up towards this top tier 2 as well. So this is gonna be a massive gold swing, really starting to crack open this game for the side of T. They haven't really managed to do it just up until this point, but with this top tier 2 falling eventually, it's really gonna start to swing. Yone is back up now to try his best response to this wave with IE picked up, but it's still 0.6 on him and 0.5 on the Kog'Maw. Still not looking for best for these 2 big AD threats. But one thing to note is there is 3 items on the Swain as they're posturing around this turret. Maybe Tia looking to have a bit of a scrap around this.
Yeah, Swain is frontlining, just daring them to go on, but they don't want to engage onto the Swain. He is a threat, but if they only focus the Swain, I think Kog'Maw can put out some damage, especially once he gets the second item, but right now, still sitting on just the components.
Yeah, this
26 minutes
second
in.
item really delayed for this Kog'Maw here. Not having
There's another
much
talent.
of a gold injection at all. He should have the ability to buy it, just 90 more gold he needs to wait for until he can pick it up there.
You think Zach can buy a full item here? He hasn't backed in a while. Oh, he just bought a full item.
Yep,
That's a
just
lot of money you're sitting on.
picking up that Abyssal Mask. It's now this next saying as well that we think the only real threat on your team is the Swain. Obviously, there is magic damage coming out from Yone and Kog'Maw, from their passives and the W of both of them, in fact. But
Yeah, I think it's a good item to buy.
yeah, I think it is a good item. Not going toward the more of the more mixed resistances items you could pick up. Yeah, I think the Abyssal Mask is smart. It is just a very strong base item as well. There was a time where a lot of these solo lane tanks, Maokai, or Nautilus was in the mid lane quite a bit. It was Abyssal Mask. As these turrets are now being raised, there's only one more tier 2 turret up for the side of
Uh-oh. Oh, Swain, you're a little bit too forward. You do not have the tankiness to sustain from that Kai'Sa, who has 3.5 completed items, and that is not the pick that Dynasty could afford to give off. I mean, Kai'Sa is very low. Wukong might look to go in a flash ults away, but all those shields coming out keeps the Kai'Sa alive, and one by one, Dynasty are sending themselves to their deaths, and Kai'Sa is low, but EA might just look to push to the end here, 3v5.
yeah. Yone is pushing up just to destroy that tier 2. Kog'Maw's trying his best to respond. Has stacked Winter's Rage Blade picked up now. Yone is going to be basing this brush, but is it soon enough? This Kai'Sa is very big, but she's also very low. Yone has his ability to cut into them as well as Alistar, so maybe they could be overextending just a bit, but they're feeling confident walking into this base.
Definitely scary. No ult for the Kai'Sa, no locket shields. Alistar goes in. Can Yone get the ult off onto the Kai'Sa? No ult coming off yet. Instead, they're just peeling back, and Alistar's getting chunked down instead. And now a very scrap on the front of Dynasty's back. They lose this fight, they lose the game as Alistar gets taken down, but Swain is back up, coming to join the fight. A few minions looking to focus them down. Maokai goes in just to get popped, but now Swain just completely dies. Again, Kai'Sa and Victor putting out so much damage. Yone misses the Kai'Sa, instead goes down. Zac falls though for the first time. That's a huge shutdown, going over to the Kog'Maw, who definitely needed that gold. And I think Dynasty has actually managed to hold on to the Nexus, even though their base is in shambles.
Yeah, they're hanging on by threads here, and it's not just a cleanup effort. You did say it is the gold onto the Kog'Maw. He is going to be picking up that he's going to be picking up the Wit's End as his third item here. But this Kai'Sa is still going to be a massive AD threat. It's not just a whole AP damage we're talking about in the draft. It is the AD Kai'Sa here. So the Wit's End is not going to be the changing factor in this game, I believe, and he's still so far behind the tempo of the rest of the game. Victor now on 3 items, and then the tanks on the side of T also getting towards or on that 3 item spike there.
It's just Dynasty knows what they have to do to win, right? They have to go into the Kai'Sa. The problem is they're going one by one onto the Kai'Sa. You have to combine everyone together. If you're going one by one, they have the peel.
It does feel like we haven't seen the Alistar and the Yone engage at the same time. I feel like this game Alistar has been slightly missing. I don't really think I've seen him have too much of an impact on these fights, and I think actually, by the way, yeah, Radiant Virtue is it allows him. I mean, I think probably you should, but also Radiant Virtue obviously allows you to be a lot slippier, and it's just basically making your art even stronger than it already is on the Alistar. So
yeah, I can see that, especially in this comp, I wouldn't mind it. I mean, no one's bursting him down, so Radiant does keep him alive for longer, but I think the locket would be so much viable considering the MR that's on the enemy team, and the viability of helping keep your teammates alive, but I don't think either would really matter in this case.
Yeah, I do think the locker would be better, but it is just talking semantics. I don't think it really changes how the game is currently being played up, but we will continue to see Yones pushing in that top turret, and they're just going to give up this Drake, understandably. If they were to fight around it, it would be the game over if they would lose. Baron is up in 30 seconds, and I think on the side of T, they're just going to look straight towards it. It is a bit of a risk on their end, because we have seen that these team fights can be getting quite close. Especially if they have the ability to come in this Kai'Sa. If Dynasty have the ability to get on top of this Kaiser, and they play this fight just a tad bit sharper than it could spell Doom here. It's still not too far behind 6.5k gold, but
The G on
a
the
lot of
Kaiser,
it is
though.
on the carries. Yeah, Kaiser is 4.5 items here. She's incredibly safe. Has that anti-heal picked up as well. It's just going to be walking back into base, and it looks like they're just going to be giving up this Baron here.
I don't think Wukong wants to, but I mean, Maokai just stands there and he's like, I can't get past you, so
Yeah.
can't actually have any impact on killing, so yeah, lead down.
Maokai and Alistar is going to be the gatekeepers there. They're going to look to focus down these last inhibitor turrets here. Look to an impact, and the problem is on the side of Dyna here, they need to fight at some point. They can't just keep letting these waves get shoved in, because eventually Kaiser's just going to be able to hit these turrets and just burn down ever so little, and it looks like that time might just be now. No W on the Wukong though, could be kind of scary.
Yeah, I don't even think you can fight. I think you just have to fight in Nexus turrets, but I think Dynasty is going to try to hold the line here. They just don't have any poke into Swain's down. No, he's just going to get completely chained down. He's going to be able to pop his ult. Instead, okay, flashes and does pop it ult to stay alive, but doesn't do it for more than a few seconds as Bjorn is completely chucked out. Heist is in the middle of all of them. That's not supposed to be allowed, but instead of getting killed, she's just going to kill everyone else. A triple kill, almost a quadra. Instead, I think that's just going to be the end of the game. Missing the snipe on the Wukong, but who matters? Just push in these towers, get this Nexus destroyed, and I think you just move on to game 2 at this point.
Invictus going to base TP, and they're just going to destroy the turrets. You're going to bandage effort them.
That was actually a pretty good attempt, but just too far behind in items.
Trying his absolute best, but it's not been the best performance here from the mid laner and the AD carry of the Simon's Dynasty, as T manages to push it in and destroy that inhibitor. GG's coming out, and that is going to be Dynasty's first loss of the split.
Undefeated until this point, and first game of the finals, best of 5.
Mhm.
That's how does that affect your mental going forward? Does it think,
Yeah.
oh, we've been figured out, or?
I mean, I'm not sure if they feel figured out, or they just feel unlucky. This Yone dying level 1 gave this Kaiser this kill in the early game, but they didn't really manage to impact it. So I'm not sure if they feel figured out as much. But yeah, I think it could definitely affect your mental, because people because like it's the first thing you've lost, right? You're not used to losing all season. They need to, like, now and only now, figure out how they deal with losing as a team, and that is not what you want to be doing in the finals, right?
Definitely an interesting
in
mental block coming their way.
in all of their series, they haven't had to think about how do we come back after a loss. That's not something that's been on their mind. So now that it is, I'm curious to see how they come back, whether they have a different strategy in the draft. This Kaiser, we were talking about it, did seem like a problem. You agree?
It definitely turned into a problem for sure. I mean,
Yeah.
I don't know how this game would have turned out if she went the AP build instead of the AD,
Mhm.
but luckily she did go the AD build, which is exactly what she needed to do there. But I think really the major problem came down to this game of we picked 3 scaling lanes, fell behind early,
Mhm.
and then tried to go in 1v1
Yeah,
instead of all following CC at the same time.
I mean, yeah, it was.
The first 5v5 they had at Dragon, they actually won that 5v5 and managed to get the Dragon off it. But after
Mhm.
that, there weren't any actual major 5v5s happening around, and by the time the next one happened at Baron, they were too far behind to win that one.
Yeah, I mean, they. I think coming into this next game, I believe. I believe they're. No, I think they're back on the red side here. So, if I'm seeing that correctly, so it's just going to be obviously they have the pick of what side they want to play here. So maybe they still have they still want to go towards their strategy. They obviously decided that they weren't going to ban away the Kaiser there. So maybe they have something similar they want to try again, more strategies, because obviously these teams have all the information, all the draft information of what they're trying to do. So it's interesting if they come back, try something different, or maybe try something similar, because obviously there were circumstances. This Kaiser got this early kill. They seemingly misplayed their composition a bit, right? Around these objectives.
For sure, yeah.
And
I mean,
they mistracked this sack, and they didn't play well around their skirmishes, because if you look at that top side, the it was no, we're good to just go in, and it's Syndra
draft
picked
just
up. Yeah, sorry, draft. I was just saying how the I felt like they had a winning top sides, but they didn't quite play around it. Was what I was trying to say. It's going to be similar bans coming in.
We have so much to process from that first game. It's like, no, we'll get straight into the second game.
Yeah.
No
but,
breaks. Same bands.
They're just it is looking like the same bands. Not sure if they're going to try it might adapt. Now, see, it's this ban, which is going to be interesting to me, whether they decide, okay, it is going to be the Kaiser, by the way.
There you go.
I wonder if they're going to first pick the Ivan. Obviously, he's a very strong champ at the moment. This Enchanter in the jungle. Oh, no, it's going to be the Maokai first picked. I'm not sure if that was quite the strongest pick, but maybe it's just safety, it's comfort, it's flex.
It's the flex, yeah.
Yeah. So I'm not sure if they wanted to, if they still want to go towards something like this either. Now it's open, and have a play a bit of a front to back comp. Ooh, Lilia picked up here.
And that's actually good because Lilia can go jungle and top as well and just follow that Maokai around. So no matter where Maokai goes, if you want the Lilia to match the Maokai, you can also force that to happen. I don't know how well versed though you can be in Lilia flex. Like, what are the chances that both your jungler and top laner place it? But it is a possibility.
Yeah, I mean, we can have just a quick little look. See if the top laner has. I don't see any games of Lilia top on Outrage there, the top laner of Dyna, but I do believe I see games of Lilia top on the of Lilia jungle, not Lilia top on the jungler. That would be weird. And it's going to be Ezreal picked up as well. Now this is shaping up to me to seem like a little bit of a like a pokier comp. Lilia obviously has the ability to go in and out, get that damage down, have the bowling ball to run down with the Ezreal setup as well. So it's going to be interesting to see how they decide to counteract that. Caitlyn going to be picked up, just trying to match the Ezreal's range a bit, maybe.
Yeah, it looks like they want to keep that being dominant bot lane going. Yep, there it is, locked in.
In the classic pairing is something like the Lux, but they're going to let the support drop through and going to pick up their Victor earlier here. They 4-picked it last time. They're going to pick it up here. They were like, they're thinking we're going to stick to what was working for us. We're going to pick this Victor, our safe scaling in the mid lane. We're gonna pick up a Maokai. It's gonna be our flex. We have the ability to play it jungle, play it top lane. It's really safe wherever it goes, and it's really gonna be impactful in these team fights, these skirmishes. But it's gonna be the Caitlyn who their AD carry is gonna pick up instead of the Kaita there. So it's going to be interesting where they go with it and how Dyna tried to counteract it. So it is Ezreal picked up. I don't know if they're going to pick up a support or match the mid lane here, what they're looking to do. If they're going to match, they still want to go this Yone into Victor. I don't think in the early lane we saw this matchup went too badly for them.
So, I mean, last game, Yone completely got dumpstered in lane. He was like 0-8 at the end of the game, or 0-7. Did not get anything really happening, so they wanting to run it back is a bit risky.
Yeah, it could be a bit risky, but we saw that in the early lane that Yone was managing to get the shop and doing what he was trying to do. I think maybe they're saying if we don't get our flash forced out really early, we can play this lane a lot more risky and we can get just a tad bit more done with the Yone there. So it is a risk, obviously. He did get kind of destroyed. They're going to ban away the Lux. I assume they're going to ban away maybe the Morgana or the Pantheon. There's a couple classic lanes that go with this Caitlyn. Bard, if you watch Game 5 of World's Finals last year, but
get the Bard out.
That's going to come out, but it very well could do. Blitzcrank going to be banned away on the other side. I assume it's going to be something like the Karma ban as well, which is this classic Ezreal pairing, but it doesn't have to be. And one thing I've noticed is that Milio is slipping through this draft here, and I don't think it's a bad pick for either of the teams right now. I think Milio is quite good, especially into Lilia. I know both the supports have played it in the past. They do quite enjoy the champ, but obviously it's not. It got nerfed just a bit over and over again, so it's not the strongest support in the game like he used to be. It's not permabanned, but I do like a Milio angle here, quite possibly.
I don't mind Milio on TA side, but I think a Braum pickup from Dynasty would actually be really good here.
Yeah.
You can block the Maokai ultimate, and you step on a That's not that
Primal
bad.
just right picked up there, not banned away, but gonna be like, we're gonna play the Karma Ezreal, this classic lane. We're gonna try.
Very safe lane.
Yeah, it is very safe, but also can try and bring out the poke. It can be quite annoying there for a Caitlyn to play, especially because Caitlyn obviously really dislikes being outranged and forced off creeps, because this is one of the only lanes which can do that to them in the early levels with the Mantra Q coming out and all the poke coming out from Ezreal as well. So maybe we look for a lot of pressure, maybe a dive in the spot lane. But I think one of the problems they are having on the side of Dyna is that they have something that's set up for a carry. Oh, a moment picked up, sorry. And it's going to be Urgot as well, so it's going to be the Maokai jungle and Mumu support here.
So they're trying getting picked up from the top lane. That's a spicy pick.
Yeah, Urgot is certainly spicy. Now they have the choice whether they want to put this Yone into the Urgot, they want to put the Lily into the Urgot, maybe even the Karma into the Urgot if they're feeling incredibly spicy going into the second game.
Well, that gives Urgot a very free lane.
Yeah.
Karma cannot do too much to punish him.
Well, maybe not, but I don't know how they're feeling. I would expect maybe they're going to pick up top lane. I'm not too versed as to who can slam Urgot into the ground in such a way. Oh, it's going to be Camille picks up.
Camille, okay, very spicy top lane. I haven't seen this matchup in a long time.
Yeah, it's neither of them are champions that have played all too much right now. But Urgot, especially with the Black Cleaver, Ravenous Hydra, I think items are actually quite a good spot for Urgot. But Camille on the other side obviously has the ability to team fight. She has the ability to split, but she's just a great all-around champion doing whatever they need to do. But on the side of Dyna's comp, I think somewhere they might have a they still have this great team fight. They still have scaling, right, with this Lilia getting on 2 items, Yone, Ezreal on the 2 items, Camille on the 2 items. They have abilities to do stuff, but I think their comp is just that tad bit more proactive than it was in the last game with that Kog'Maw lane. Kog'Maw Alistar just felt like it was losing from minute 1, especially with the kill given over to the Kai'Sa. And Ezreal Karma won't feel the exact same there. But they can't disrespect this Amumu's Caitlyn level 3 or level 2 even when this Caitlyn gets the Yordle snap trap up that W. Both this Ezreal and Karma have quite squishy health bars here in this bot lane, so it's just going to be a lot of scrapping, a lot of fighting, a lot of poking happening in that bot lane all around the map. But yeah, this Lilia does have the clear speed, and she does have the ability to just run throughout this map and make more of an impact than the Wukong did on the last game. I'm not too sure how much I like Wukong as a jungler right now, and I think Lilia is definitely preferred to it, especially with this double AD solo lane. She is that solo AP threat, and that's obviously what Lilia loves, right? That solo AP threat on a team.
Yeah, I'm just worried how she's going to be able to get onto the back line, though. I mean, they have very good frontline PO for their Caitlyn Victor, so getting onto those 2 carries is going to be a big problem on the Dynasty side. But I guess that's where the Camille comes in, because she can quite easily get onto the carries and just lock them down. It depends, though, how Urgot's able to neutralize their lane, because as long as Camille can get to a Divine Sundra without, falling too far behind, I think she can do just fine. But those the first 10 minutes of the game are probably going to make or break Dynasty again.
If she can find this good flank angle in the team fights, and be equal or ahead of its Urgot, as you were saying, then it could be it could go very well for them. Lilia will then have the ability to start running through. Yone will have the ability to get onto the Caitlyn or the Victor there, and Ezreal can start chewing through them. But I think on the side of TEA, they have a very easy to play comp after this Caitlyn and the Amumu get out of lane, right? Their team fight is quite simple. Their Urgot Maokai needs to sit on the front line. They need to be able to get onto Ezreal, lock down this Lilia, make sure they can't go huge in the fights, and after that, it's just going to be a slight cleanup there. So, yeah, I think TA definitely has an easier to play comp. But as long as Dyna haven't mental boomed in this game, I think from what I have looked at, they have the ability to play compositions like this, and they have done in the past. I know they have looked towards this Lilia at times. They do quite
their jungler does quite enjoy this champion, I believe. So I'll be curious to see how this goes. And um, any predictions going into this game? Do you think this is the composition you expected to see from Dino, especially after this first loss? Or
predictions are so hard because I would have
Yeah.
predicted Dynasty last game. Not only were they undefeated, but I thought they had the better and honestly easier comp to play. But we saw how they managed to get continually punished and then failed to capitalize onto the CC blocking. So realistically, I think TA has the advantage going into the second game. They have the momentum of the win. They have, I think, the easier comp to play out. They have a more mixed damage source instead of just singular AP damage on the Lilia. So, I mean, I think we could easily see a 2-0, but we'll see. I mean, you can't just underestimate Dynasty because of one game. Like, they still are undefeated up to this point. So, yeah.
Yeah, so I think we're gonna head into a quick break as we just wait for all the for our client draft to go through and wait for the spectator delay as well. So we will be right back. We'll be right back with you in just about 5 minutes. Hang tight.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back on Summoner Shift for Game 2. We have T on the blue side, sorry, and Dyna on the red side taking their first loss of the season. And unlike the last game, we have both teams walking into the top side, stacked as 5. They're going to just miss each other, though.
Oh, are they going to walk down? There's potential. Maybe not, though. I'm
This
probably just going to put back in the bushes.
Yeah, there's red side question mark pings on their blue buff, but oh, I think recalling is really bad. Oh no, Yon's dead.
Oh.
Not again.
It's a repeat of game 1, but it's all team is... Oh, wait, now they know. Are they going to... They're just running away? They're split. Why is one person staying in the bush? This is so risky.
No,
oh, they got still looking next to each other. Oh, this is a very unique level 1. That could have gone very chaotic, but we'll walk away scot-free.
Yeah, if that bandage toss hit, it would have been bad.
That would have destroyed the mental for sure. I don't know.
If Yon died again, that would have been quite bad. It's gonna be Lilia and Mike are gonna path to opposite sides of each other. Lilia's gonna try her absolute best to get this Camille ahead of this Urgot. We did say the Camille needed to be ahead because it's the only reliable access they have onto this Caitlyn the Moon without burning something like Lilia Flash. And
Camille did go Ignite TP.
Yeah, no Flash here on the Camille, which means she's unsafe if Maokai does want to look for a level 3 gank. And I think maybe Maokai is looking for this. Started on his Wolves could be looking for a level 3 gank, or it's just knowing that he had the solo start, and obviously the mod camp, it's going to be incredibly quick on Maokai with that Q. Lily's going to be a while away as well if Maokai does decide to go for this level 3 gank, starting on the bot side there. Yeah, but she's fine path away from this Ezreal, obviously. Incredibly safe champion. Oh, and this Urgot is stacking up big waves. Yeah, I'm discovering this matchup along with you guys. I have not seen it in like, it would feel like a year, so I'm not quite sure how the interaction goes.
As I'm a top lane man, I mean, I don't face Urgot that often, but I always hate it. He's a very unique champion how you have to play, right? Because if you want to attack him as a melee character, he loves that because, you know, he has his shotgun legs and loves to go in on him. So early levels, he's very, overbearing. You feel like you can't trade against him. He's just taking out huge bursts of damage. But that's why I say if Camille can get to a Divine Sunder without dying to the Urgot, without falling behind, she can be fine with just engaging, getting Q2 off, and disengaging if need be, and poking him down over time. So early levels, very volatile, can easily fall behind because Urgot's very beefy and does a lot of damage, but you get to your first item, you should be fine.
Both these junglers are going towards their full clear. Lily's gonna have a ping to the top side. This is just a bit of training in the mid lane. How much is gonna go on? I think Maokai was looking for a dive angle because I think it's quite obvious that Caitlyn and Mumu would have pressure in this lane. When it hit that level 2 spike, Caitlyn managed to get the Q through the wave to the AoE. But Ezreal and Karma have not been low enough because of the Karma shield, so I think a dive could be kind of disastrous if they looked to go for it. I don't think there's any angle on. I think well played from the bot lane of Dyna here. The wave is just going to crash now, and Maokai's going to go towards his Croaks. Obviously, they have vision of Lilia in this top side as the E misses on the Camille, so it's not going to be too much happening there. Lilia's just going to wait around for a tad.
And that's 2 Mantra Qs now missing, and that's why Caitlyn Lux has always been known as the, not much going to happen here. Caitlyn Lux has been known as the really dominant bot lane because you have the long-range Caitlyn poke, you have the long-range Lux poke. Now you replace that Lux or another long-range with a Mumu, you don't really have as much pressure anymore. So, yes, they have a lot more healthy health bars because there's only 1 threat instead of 2.
Yeah, and when the shields come out and it's just the Caitlyn poking, it's going to be a bit dangerous. Then, really well buffered. Oh my god.
Wow. This could be a solo kill. Here's Ignite.
E cooldown is
auto Q reset.
5
Ignite.
seconds. Yeah,
it's just very simple.
It's just going to be living.
Wow.
Bomb one would have also been fine there. I mean, Urgot does have to teleport, but so does Camille's teleport back to this. Yeah, that's just that was just incredibly well played there from the top laner of oh god, the Dyna. Sorry, and
Oh, and now Ignite going on to the Mumu. He just gets rooted up and they take him down too. This is a much better stop for Dynasty, as I think we're going to get a clean 2-0 for... Oh, flashes and Q's a minion! Just managed to take down the Caitlyn without going down as well, and much better stop for Dynasty this game.
Yeah, I think this is showing what they can do and what they probably have been doing all season. It's just well played. That was incredible mechanical skill there from the top laner, buffering the E, buffering her E on the E of Urgot to not get flipped back. Just really, really well played. So very impressed there. And then it's just Caitlyn disrespecting level 5 of Ezreal come with the wave crashing. They obviously had the minions killed quicker, as now Lilia's just moving in.
Doesn't manage to get the Wraith Camp, but Yone has ult and just flies in, and unless Maokai can flash out in time, he doesn't actually have his flash, so another kill going over as Amumu's here too late to respond.
Yeah, Amumu's just covering the kill on Victor there, and they really seem to have mentally bounced back. They just seem to be a bit more free-flowing, seem to be first to the plays, and the plays that they're committing to are sticking, as that one was not quite buffered. Urgot has R up here. I'd be still kind of scared, even though you do have this speed longsword into double longsword advantage there.
Yeah. Any questions about Dynasty potentially getting mental boomed after game 1 have, I think, already been squashed. They showed, no, we're here to fight. We're not going to let one game affect us, even though if it does ruin the perfect season. But who cares if you still lift the cup at the end?
And I think maybe it's a bit of the pressure might have been lifted off them after that first game loss as well. Could be. I'll stop talking for a second as Maokai's coming into this bot lane.
Looking to get it down. Caitlyn getting a lot of chunks onto this. Ezreal, no summoners, already used for the kills. They are going to trade it back onto the Maokai.
That's
one for one so far. Now Mumu's flashing into the Lilia. That's 2 for 1. Caitlyn does pick up on the one on the end, but I think that's just going to be a 2 for 2 at the end of the day. So not the best dive in the world. Sorry. Did we go down? Yeah. Oh yes, because the Maokai went down. Okay, so bad dive, very bad dive, turning out into an actual blunder. Urgot does get a push onto the top side though, as they will lose the dragon.
Yeah, Urgot gets the push onto the top side. There's going to be some minions crashing into that bot tower. Ezreal is just on the full a bit more CS behind. But it is going to be the dragon lost there. The Yone is going to be able to help Lilia pick that one up there. I think Lilia's hitting level 6 quite soon, just off her this dragon and her blue buff. And when this gets level 6, she can be a bit of a menace around the market. Oh no, wait, she just got off the dragon. Oh, I don't know how much XP dragon is apparently. Yeah, she has hit 6 now. She can make a lot more impactful plays around the map. When that sleep starts to hit, it can become deadly there. It's just Victor doesn't have his E upgrade as soon as he would quite like it, and as soon as he had it in the last game, obviously. With the assist going through, had 25 extra stacks there, so had the ability to get this E upgrade sooner. But now this Yone is the one getting the kill. He's got a lot more attack speed. He's got the ability to get through these waves. He's got the ability to move down, help the Lilia out with Dragon. And so yeah, I think it's been a really well neutrally played game from the side of Dynasty here. The teleport, the awareness from the Camille when the dive was coming in, it may be just slightly late, not quite sure what happened if they could fully turn that dive, but that managed to turn around the outcome, pick up all 3 kills there across the team. Lilia also good awareness to come, and it does feel like they're playing a bit more as a team. The mid laner and the jungler are meeting up. The jungler top laner that are coming down to help out the bot lane getting dive, and I think that was just a bit of what they were missing in that first game. And now, as there is about a 1,000 gold lead 9 minutes in towards the side of Dynasty here, so it's just taking the Herald there. That's full objective control, and it feels like what went from 3 losing lanes has moved toward 3 winning lanes here for the side of Dynasty. So complete swap up of what we saw from that first game here.
But what is the gold difference between the ADCs? Because that is a pretty big CS lead building up.
Yeah, I think
it'll be unexpected.
Quite equal, just 400 gold toward the Caitlyn actually. So,
yeah. So
Ezreal just
it's oh
yes.
What? Just flashes onto the Lilia, and so gets turned around.
Oh, that's unfortunate.
Is that gonna? No ult comes out, so he's not able to lock it down. Still has Ignite up, but okay, that was an interesting interaction there. Went very aggressive and went full retreat.
I'm not quite sure why I got felt.
Oh, good buffer. Just the Altaf coming out. Does not use the Ignite, but is not going to get pulled in. Okay, another solo kill going over to Camille.
Yeah. Camille picking up that extra gold, and this is going to be probably another plate fall as well. No teleport here for Urgot. The Maokai is going to have to run for this top lane to try to respond to the Camille here. And as the plate does go down, she's going to be able to just walk out. No output. I feel like maybe there was an angle for Maokai to see if he can walk in, try to pick up that kill, but it's just going to decide to save the players to pick up the wave there. Doesn't want to get turned on by the Camille.
Yeah, now I think Camille's going to back and pick up a Divine Center, so if Urgot was already losing the 1v1, there's no shot he's ever winning it now. He's in basically trouble for the rest of this game.
Yeah, this we said if this Camille was equal, she would have quite an easy time during these game fights. But now she's picked up that Divine Thunder. She's quite far ahead, around 1,500 got ahead of this Urgot here. Which is an incredible gold difference, especially for the top lane. It is really unplayable for the Urgot here, and it's going to be unplayable for the Caitlyn and the Victor here in the team fights if they don't find a way to deal with it. So, yeah, just look at this trading in the top lane, yeah.
I mean, yeah, Urgot cannot put any more damage down onto... I mean, just ran the Urgot down.
Living up to the name of the Cho'Gath on that second Q proc there.
I wonder if Urgot E'd in, because we didn't see him use it, but maybe he just didn't think Camille had the damage? Either way, that is, I mean, that's just way far gone at this point.
Yone might have an angle. Yeah, no, it's going to be recalling his E there. That's going to be the first turret taking 625 gold, with the plate picked up there, as well as the first turret gold. Onto the Camille, that's actually just massively far ahead now. And also this gold has been transferred to the Lilia, who's just been able to do more on the map than the Maokai has. After that Butch dive, and with the freedom that the Lilia and the Yone have granted, good cleanse there from Ezreal.
Rumble going really aggressive, flashing onto the Ezreal as well. Is not able to take him out, but Maokai's going to come here to clean them up. Maybe we'll be able to get two. No, just gets Ezreal. Now is that the Yone coming to TP in from the riverside. I think he'll be not going to get the just in time to take out the Maokai, but flashes onto the Caitlyn. Caitlyn now forced to heal and is not going to get out as Lilia flashes into the tower to kill him as well. That's another botch dive coming from TEA. Wait, what?
Yeah, Caitlyn just tried to dive just that bit too far. Got flipped by the Urgot. It's obviously something you still can't disrespect. Trying to dive an Urgot without your movement abilities. Didn't press the R button there. Not sure if it was like just off cooldown. But it is going to be a bit of a gold injection. Urgot is going to be basing on pick up that Black Cleaver, which is quite a big spike for him. But it's still a massive gold lead toward the Camille. Drake is going to be picked up, as you were just about to mention there.
I was like, how to fill your lead 101. Give a huge shutdown to the opponent you've been beating all game.
Yeah, I mean, it shouldn't mean all too much, but this Urgot will really start to enjoy the gold here. And no, it was just, as I said, it feels like they're just playing more as a team on the side of Dynasty, right? Than they were in that first game, and they feel brighter. I think they're on champs, they enjoy more as well. I think this Camille, this Lilia, feels definitely more their comfort than the Wukong and the God, what top lane was it? Wukong and Spain. They were just trying to go toward what fit with their comp. They were trying to do something and trying to do something creative with their flexes as well. And I think it didn't go towards what they wanted to play. But now they've got their Camille, they've got their Lilia, they've got their comfort. They're having a good time. They're feeling more confident on their champions, and it's really a different team that we're seeing in this game.
Yeah, it's all going to be on the AD Cleary again. It was the Kai'Sa last game, now it's the Caitlyn this game. Really only don't... I guess Victor is scaling up just fine mid lane. You know, he's picked up his Ludens. He might be able to put up some damage as well, but... I mean, TA's game plan of pushing in bot side and diving with the Maokai just has not panned out. Sure, they've got kills both times they've done it, but at the cost of more members on their side going down, so...
Yeah,
they have to sort of stop this bleeding somehow.
It does feel like what's happening to Dynasty last game. They're looking for these plays, but they're not quite working, and it's been really well reactively played from the side of Dynasty this game. This is going to be the turret taken though. So DA and
it's onto the Yone.
Yone doesn't have an ult out. Well played there from Amumu.
Oh, there's the Kayla now.
Yeah.
Yeah. No getting away from that one.
No. Yeah, it was really well. It was really well played there from Amumu. Just You only had to wait until you get 3Q stacks to get his ult off because Amumu was blocking the ult path out. So that is a bit of
I mean,
life.
the one
is...
way you live is putting gold in this Caitlyn's pocket. So that's step one for TAA is get more gold into her. Because I think she's not going to get this turret for free as trade for the Rift Herald.
Not quite sure how many. Yeah, no, she is just gonna. That's gonna be 550 gold. Picks up onto her. She's not gonna quite have her next item. I assume she's gonna go towards that Gale Force. She's still around 800 gold away from that. But that is a massive injection. She's gonna be able to base get a pickaxe and no, it's gonna be the IE. So with that pickaxe pick up there.
I mean, you trade the Rift Herald for it, but honestly, for TA, you'd like that trade. You're not probably going to get that much gold value from the Rift Herald, and you guarantee all of that gold going on to your Caitlyn. So, at the end of the day, TA is quite happy with that turn of events.
Well, I think the Rift Herald is going to end up raising this mid lane turret here, which can which means even there is already a lot of mid push and a lot of mid pro on the side of Dynasty here, so the Herald is going to be able to crack open that mid turret, allow them to get a lot more vision around across the map. It's going to allow them to go towards these Dragons' objectives sooner. And it is the Mountain Soul, which is actually quite a big soul for them, I think, in this game. All those added resistances and that bonus shield will just allow the Lilia to stay around longer, to be that big to be that big threat in fights. Is going to allow the Yone to be tankier, the Ezreal just to not go down to that little bit of burst, especially into something like the Caitlyn. This extra resistances, she can feel quite useless if she doesn't get a massive lead, which she is, to be fair, starting to scale towards. She is CSing incredibly well as there's a bit of a skirmish in the top lane here.
Yeah, it's both ults going out, but I don't think much is going to happen then.
Yeah, it's just
a dragon for now.
It can just look a bit scary, you know, when both of them are going in on each other. You don't know if they're just gonna walk out or they're both gonna die, you know. So Caitlyn is gonna have the ability to get this mid push, and she's gonna start getting a bit of damage on this turret as well. I think they know that Ezreal's on a recall totem. No, she's just gonna walk off. It is still Dynasty that have pressure around this dragon, as Victor is going to push in this bot wave, which means they do have that bot flank to come up towards. But it is Dynasty first towards this dragon. Julius is going to be forcing them out, getting that mid push, and I would assume dropping the Herald here. Why are we not dropping the Herald here?
Maybe they're trying to save it. Yeah, there you go.
Doing quite.
That might not take it down. Might survive on 1 HP.
No, it is going to be taken down there, and Camille is going to start working on this bot turret as well. So that is that turret taken in the chaos of setting up for this Drake, and Camille does have quite a good flank angle as she comes up during this fight. TP up on her as well if she decides to look for a TP flank, but it is going to be them just trying to burst down the dragon. Oh, it's just going to be taken. They're just going to give it.
They're just completely giving it up, or they're not realizing how fast they were going to do it. I mean, Camille had the flank. They have to know they're ahead in gold, but they just don't want to force it.
Yeah, I mean, maybe they're scared that that's curious to me. That really is. I think the Lilia is so far ahead. Yone is so big on his Kraken Slayer spike. The Triforce is onto the Ezreal there as well. Maybe I don't know. Maybe they are scared of the kill and 2 items. But I feel like with the Camille, she could have come up on that flank. But maybe they just thought they had the ability to shove in one more mid wave and then collect, then go towards the fight after that. But obviously they did not with the Victor and the Urgot especially, managing to just chew through this dragon, the Caitlyn there as well. So yeah, I think slight misplay there from the side of Dynasty. I think they definitely did have the ability to fight that dragon. Not a lot, I think, could have been done on the side of just a bit of trading on the side of T here.
It's just the fact that you also said it was the Mountain Drag Soul, which would be very good for Dynasty to pick up, because knowing they're against the Caitlyn. The only thought I can think of is if they did actually just choose to sack us, like they were scared of the Maokai zoning them out, and if they got caught, Amumu can just follow up and CC lock them, and Caitlyn having 2 items.
I think Lilia should just walk out and be quite fine. I think that's a big waste of abilities, and I think especially with this.
No, Camille is getting caught out here. Maokai coming down to root it down, but takes out the Amumu. Lots of damage onto a squishy Amumu, but 1-for-1 at the end. But again, you take that trade. That's more gold onto your Caitlyn.
Yeah, gold
Dynasty
onto the
throwing the
Caitlyn.
game a little here.
Yeah, they are starting to just get a bit overexcited, overzealous for the wrong plays, which seems a bit weird to me. They're fighting over the red buff instead of the dragon, but
I mean, it's more obvious when you have the red buff, so therefore it must be better.
yeah. I mean, Lilia did get it, I believe. So what? I guess.
Hashtag flip.
Yeah, but they still like. Don't get me wrong. It is still a good game state for them on the side of Dynasty, right? They still have this massive Lilia. Ezreal just based, and what is Manamune gonna start stacking that up there? And they have this mid turret, they have this perma mid shove, so they have the ability to go walk. They can get wards into the jungle of T here, which will allow these objectives to be taken a lot easier. But for now, it feels like it's just going to be a game of stalling until this next dragon. Lilia is just going to want to farm up toward that demonic embrace. She should be quite close now, I think, around 700-ish got off. Maybe I'm wrong, maybe I'm right. Not too sure. Wait. I think she's basing for it now. So she's going to have that second item. It's just going to be sweeping out the Baron Pit, and then there's just going to be Vision replaced. Just fighting over the wards, just fighting over the shove here. Demonic Embrace is base picked up there. But this Yone is a lot bigger in this fight. As Caitlyn is starting to set up some traps walking into this one. She's level 12 now. This Caitlyn, don't get me wrong, is very, very huge. 2.5 items there.
I mean, how TA plays these fights is really going to impact how the game's going to go. I mean, they have the Maokai and Mumu engaged, but do you save that for the Camille jumping onto your Caitlyn? Because you know that's who the Camille's going to jump onto. So if you can peel your Caitlyn free from the Camille, you win the fight. Do you risk sending out all your engagement tools and then having nothing to peel for the Caitlyn? They have to make that choice.
Yeah, it's going to be a game of barking this Camille, really, isn't it? They need to keep their flanks warded. They need to keep it on vision. They need to make sure they're watching out for their TPs as well.
Yeah, because it's not like Camille's tanky, right? I mean,
No.
She doesn't even have completed boots yet, so she will die very quickly to the Caitlyn. Not even mentioning the Victor. Victor could just burst her as well. So yeah, she can get onto the Caitlyn, but if they save everything to help peel the Caitlyn, she actually won't really be able to do much.
Yeah, indeed. I want to see how much this Ezreal poke is doing. Ezreal does have the ability to be quite big in team fights as well as this Yone. I think Yone should also be able to back soon for his IE. Oh no, wait, he's in base yet. That's his Infinity Edge picked up on Yone. So it's going to be 2 items across almost every champion in the game, aside from this Victor here. So Victor's a bit behind the curve. Coming up to this dragon in 24 seconds. And now I think they should see as...
Trying to catch up to Lilia. And look at that damage coming from the Caitlyn. Just 3 autos and gone. As now Camille's getting caught out by the Maokai ultimate, jumps onto the Maokai, but that's not going to do anything. And that's 2 kills going over to TE, and that's also going to be another mountain dragon for them. So Dynasty just getting caught out and just losing some more gold lead.
Yeah, I think that's now with that. It was just Goods engaged by Mumu. He has been burning a lot of these spells quite quickly, but this one did find the right target. Had to follow up the kill in there, showing what it really can do on this 2.5 item spike. And that is most of the lead gone now, and this game is looking towards quite an equal state. But still, Team Dynasty haven't shown the ability to do much of anything in these fights. They've just been getting caught out before, or being or opting out of them. So we haven't really seen them truly take a 5v5 here.
It's kind of insane. If you were to show me just the last 6 minutes of this game, I would think that TE was the one with the gold lead. I mean, they won. They got the last dragon. They won at the red buff skirmish. They just got another dragon, and yet they're still behind in gold. That's how disastrous the early game was. But come this mid-game past laning phase, they just haven't been able to capitalize on that gold lead.
Yeah, they were pinging towards Baron on the side of T, but jungler respawned. They didn't really have the ability to do it. They didn't have the tempo. That is now with 3 item Bloodthirster completed. Big ol' stat stick back for Caitlyn. It's just going to make her do a lot more damage. She's going to be critting galore in this mid lane. These headshots coming out as well will do a lot of damage. And it's just... Oh, maybe she's going a bit too far here, actually.
Ezreal eating in, though. That's a
No,
huge
maybe
look
she's
at that.
not.
She's doing so much after Ezreal health bar. Instead, she's just kind of doing the 1v3 as is going to get stunned up. I don't know if she's going to be able to finish the kill. And now Camille's coming in from the back. That's a huge shutdown as her team is nowhere there to help. Caitlyn getting one kill by going super aggressive, but that aggressiveness is going to end her life.
Yeah, that's going to be God going to Camille. I'm not sure that's quite the one you wanted on. He's going to go towards that Sterak's gauge here with that extra gold. But
I think
no,
you definitely
it's...
want on the Camille. So, I mean, you want to burst that Caitlyn as soon as possible, so allowing the Camille to do that, and getting Sterak's, getting her GA, getting the survivability tools, that would be huge for the Camille actually managing to kill the Caitlyn. Where's Maokai?
Yeah.
I mean, okay, Maokai coming in there from the bot side. He's going to go for the steal. Not there just in time. Instead, they're going to actually try to turn it on the Dynasty. Huge 3-man Yone coming out. Camille is busted instantly, it's not able to follow up, but they do take out the victor at the cost of 2 of their own members. And I think now they're just going to try to escape. Lilia trying to get that low health Urg up, and instead will just run away.
Yeah, Lilia isn't having this big impact on these fights like we want her to see. She's not really getting through it, but it was the Yone, the saving grace in that fight, and it is going to be Baron picked up as well, so they're going to be able to march towards some of these tier 2 turrets on the side of Team Dynasty. So it's overall a victory there, although 2 people fell. Sterak's Gage going to be picked up on the Camille as well. They need to be looking... I still feel like they really need to be looking towards these big 5v5 fights.
Oh, like Caitlyn going aggressive again, just...
On the side of Team Dynasty, yeah.
I mean... Why is Dynasty back in this game? It's purely because the Caitlyn was overstepping. That's the only reason.
Yeah, I mean...
If Caitlyn was just staying back behind her teammates, Dynasty would still probably just be getting shut out. But instead, now they're able to reclaim the gold lead.
Yeah, this Caitlyn has been getting a little too excited, and I think that's kind of been the moral of the story all game. People have been getting that lead, and then they've just been getting a little too excited with it, just trying to make that one extra play, which has been throwing the gold lead, and that obviously led to the Baron here in this in this game too.
Like, I can understand going that aggressive if you have your Maokai there to support you, but it was just the Amumu, and she was ahead of her Amumu. Oh, going aggressive here, but he has it. He just snaps back and I guess gets the ult out for Urgot for free.
Yeah, I've got ult forced out there to make sure the Young can do any more damage, but I think it's not on the longest cooldown yet. No, just 50 seconds until that Urgot ult is back up. So it's not going to. It's still going to be up for this dragon fight, which whichever team picks up this dragon will be on the stop point there, so I do think this is something that both teams are going to want to fight for. Now this Maokai is on her big 3-item spike. He's incredibly tanky. He's going to be doing quite a bit of AP damage as well with the Oh, and game is paused.
That's
IRL gank. I'm not quite sure what that means.
Someone, somewhere, something, somewhere. Okay, yeah, exactly. It also... Lilia does manage to pick up the stopwatch component, which good gives us some survivability against the Caitlyn. But the problem is that Zhonya's isn't known to be the most effective against the Caitlyn, because guess what she does when you're in the Zhonya state? Put a track down and you get one shot when you come out of it. So this really is coming down to 2 factors. 1, does the Caitlyn survive? And 2, does the Camille kill the Caitlyn? That's kind of what all this comes down to.
I mean, obviously the the Lilia on the Zhonya's is the fact that you QR and then you stopwatch, and the stopwatch lasts for a shorter time than they go to sleep.
Yeah, that could happen. I wonder what they tried. Do they try to get an E onto the Caitlyn to put her to sleep before Camille jumps in, or are they going to try to start with Camille jumping in, locking her down, and that allows the Lilia to get up to her quicker?
Yeah, I think it's just gonna be a thing of how the fight plays out. If they manage to find the Lilia sleep onto the Caitlyn, they're gonna want to use it as soon as possible. If this Caitlyn has a flank, so they can get it guaranteed. But if the Caitlyn can get on top of the Camille, then the Lilia can get a huge 5-man out in the fight. That would be a whole different story there. So yeah, I'm not quite sure what is going on with support. By the way, I would give you information if we have it, but I'm not. They're being a bit cryptic in the chats. I think ours are coming out just so soon. So now, as we're looking at it, there's 50 seconds to a dragon. We're looking at
almost everybody's spells are up. Although one thing to mention is the Camille TP is not up, so she doesn't have the ability to TP into this flank. So she needs to find a way to shove in a wave and then gets into a flank position. There's no wards, pretty much anywhere on the jungle of T4 Dynasty there. So, well, there's no wards in that red side jungle at all as the game has been unpaused. Now I believe we're gonna have a little bit of a freeze, so don't be scared if that happens. We might not. Oh, it looks like we're perfectly fine. Nope, there it is. Okay. The quick, just what happens when you spectate, and then somebody pauses, but it'll be right back in just a second.
Yeah, the bottom side of the jungle is just completely dark, and even on the river side, it is completely owned by TEA. So Camille definitely has no way of getting in without being seen. Doesn't necessarily stop her because she can jump through a whole screen, but they need to know what's going on in order to actually know where the Caitlyn is to get onto her.
Yeah, Caitlyn is on the back here. This is obviously all warded, but that is just showing what the tempo or the show advantage is doing. They did have
They know that Camille's in that bush. Oh, and oh, I thought that was. I thought. Okay, oh, coming in. No, he still has that. But he goes wide, doesn't manage to hit anyone. Caitlyn starting up the dragon, putting her traps down, zoning them out. Very effective zone with the Caitlyn Victor as well. It is not easy to follow in. Camille is still here. Caitlyn is right in front of her, but she can't really engage yet because the team is too far away. The team needs to push up quicker. And if the team was there, she could engage on the Caitlyn, but no, instead they just still bleeds out. A massive 4-man ult down, managing to walk away as well. Now Yone is trying to get in onto the Victor and Caitlyn, does get his ult on top of them, but look at Camille, she's just completely zoned out, can't get even on top of the Caitlyn. The Q is too massive, and instead, Dynasty just waits way too long and get completely aced. Amumu with a massive ult.
Yeah, that was so incredibly well played from Amumu. He was just hiding. He was a bit in and out of vision. I think maybe because of the ward there, and it was just a big flash. They were all stacked on top of each other. Ezreal tried to cleanse and turn around the fight. Yeah, it just wasn't enough. Caitlyn, Victor, all the damage came out just on top of them. So it was just really well played, finding the angle from Amumu, and that's kind of what's been happening all game, right? Sometimes these Amumu angles have been working, sometimes they haven't been, but when it has, it's always been huge, right? It was Amumu found angles around all the dragons.
But that team fight was a perfect example of why you need engages in your team, right? They have the Amumu and Maokai there to engage. Like, Dynasty was just dancing around the whole time. We can't engage. Victor and Caitlyn are just outrange us. We poke too much. And by the time the dragon's gone, they still can't engage. And so Amumu is like, fine, I'll engage myself. I engage, I stun you all, and you're all dead. Victor overstayed his welcome a little bit here, so he is going to go down as Urgot's now also probably going to die. I don't think you win this. That could just be 2 kills going over to this Camille. Actually, Urgot's doing really well. Xerx's Jade is popped, as well as the shield, and lots of survivability, as now both sides of the map are trying to get engaged on. Another huge engage coming up from the Mumu, as Zhonya's is going to go up on the Lilia, guessing it to survive a little bit longer. Flashes out, Yone's not going to do any damage, as Caitlyn's just going to wipe it off. Neos 1v1 is still going on down here, and actually doesn't manage to take it out, as Caitlyn just blows up that Ezreal, no chance there. As another flash is forced out, and DEA are just way overtaking this game, and actually have a gold lead now.
Yeah,
Dynasty is completely been
how much damage are they gonna do? Don't know. It's gonna hit
gold.
Yeah. This Caitlyn is very fed on her 4 items, got that LDR. It's been just 2 great performances from the AD carry pit plop here of the side of TEA. Camille is going to pick up that gold, but as you said, as we're approaching that team fight, she doesn't really have the ability to get in. She needs to be able to find these flanks off vision, but with how the game's been going, with the amount of shove this Caitlyn's been able to provide in the mid lane, and with how the tempo of the game has swung, it's really difficult to get any kind of vision onto the jungle of TEA. It's very difficult to clear out any of their vision, see what's going on, so it's very difficult to get your Camille into one of those positions, get a deep ward for a teleport around the objective here. And now it just feels like with the a lot of the tankier items picked up. This Lilia's not doing a lot. It doesn't really feel like the Ezreal's doing a lot either. Just going to be a whole item behind here. Camille's looking something maybe.
Looking to go in, instead get stunned up by a Mumu, as then Caitlyn's able to just dish out the damage. Actually does ult it on Mumu though. I don't know if she meant to click that person. That's not the one you want to get onto. Urgot ult shuts her completely down, as now 3 more members are completely just eviscerated from Dynasty. Ezreal got solo killed by the Victor, and now TEA might just be looking to end and make it a 2-0 going into match point.
Yeah, I mean,
it was huge. They were down like 4k gold, and then just nothing happened, and they kind of just won fight after fight. They got some free dragons.
Yeah, it just really feels like Dynasty are really, really struggling around these team fights. It's something they need to fix up if they want to try and make a reverse sweep happen, because I do assume this is just going to be them walking into the base, right? This Caitlyn is going to shred through these guys.
All 4 of these Urgot deaths are from solo kills, right? But that just doesn't matter. Victor was in the mid lane scaling up, as they just get a few more kills to pad the stats, but the jungler just also farming up, managing to make his presence known throughout the bot side of the map. Caitlyn, Amumu pushing in, getting plates off the turret, farming up, and this Dynasty cannot answer it. They get the lead on top side in both games, but the rest of the map is just not able to keep up, and they're not able to translate their gold leads into anything substantial.
See, I think a big thing to think about there is we did talk about the Maokai dives, right? We did talk about them shoving in these waves and getting those kills. We did originally say, as they were happening, that it was quite advantageous for the side of Dynasty here. But now, as if you would think back, it did get all these kills and a lot of gold onto Caitlyn, and they did have the ability to hit the turret at some point. It did start this snowball off. So maybe it didn't go quite as they were looking for, but when we were saying that there was the we were saying there was a gold advantage, a lot of it was on the Camille, and then when it came to those team fights, there was like a 1k gold on Caitlyn going into one of those first dragon skirmishes. They didn't manage to snowball the lead on the side of Dynasty, on the side of Dynasty Amethyst here, sorry. And when they didn't manage to find these kills into Caitlyn, she just scaled up, snowballed, got the mid turret, took it towards the Baron, took it towards all these dragons, and they didn't really do anything with their lead on the side of Dynasty, and that's really what broke them here.
I don't know if we saw a single Camille ult coming down onto the Caitlyn at any point in the later half of that game. I mean, that was the sole threat on TEA, but I saw ults going down to the Mumu onto the Maokai, but not onto the carry.
Yeah, just didn't find that one ult. And honestly, that's what it could have been before the it was so difficult, before it became so difficult, before the Caitlyn got so fed. It could have just been that one ult would have really, really helped to change the tide here, but it wasn't found. And this is something they need to be looking at going into their third game. How are they gonna fix their fighting around these objectives? Because we did say in these 2 games that's what was probably strong from them, being unbeaten, and now they've lost 2, and they have to really find something special. They have to find something magical coming into this third game here.
Looks like they have switched sides, so they will be onto the blue side for game 3, so that change is going to happen. I think they really need to also look at this Yone. Do they really want to try running back the Yone for a 3rd time? I mean, Victor has not been really punished in these lanes. He's been free scaling both these games, so
no,
it's not like Victor's felt like the threat, but having a free AP user that's scaling quite honestly, not having many problems, you've tried to focus AD carry down, and even if they did manage to do that, which they weren't able to do, but if they did get him down, they're still a huge monster there. So I think they need to either focus more pressure on this bot side to bring the jungler down there more often, or think of something new to push through the mid lane, because they're just losing in both these ways.
Yeah, it was, they need to find something to do with it, because it's not like this Yone really lost very hard, but I feel like even in this game, if bot lane went even, this Victor would have just scaled and scaled and scaled, and it would have still been really difficult for them around team fights. Because I still do think this got Maokai did play incredibly well around these team fights, right? They managed to they managed to mark the Camille, stop her engage, get her off the Caitlyn, get her off the carries, and because we said that Camille didn't find an engage onto Caitlyn, I didn't see her having a way of getting onto the Victor either with how they were playing, because the team didn't, because Camille's team weren't really helping her. They weren't really getting them into a position that they could be flanked and they could be Camille ulted. So we are going to get into the draft here. We're going to see what changes. Obviously, with the switching of sides, it's now match point for the side of T, which was not what we were expecting here.
Yeah, I mean, undefeated Dynasty now looking to do a reverse sweep. I mean,
Yeah,
I've seen crazier, but reverse sweeps, I guess, are actually about as crazy you can get.
Certainly.
Immediately a Victor ban. There you go, changing things up already.
And the name, maybe the Victor does mean they want to lean to, but I think the Yone was kind of the answer into the Victor. In most cases, it was like, yeah, we're comfortable playing Yone into this matchup, so.
And this is a complete transformation of the bans, right? They had the first two bans be Tristana, Job in the first two games. Now they're like, okay, screw those bans. Now these are the problems. And Caitlyn is being left up, but just take away 3 of the champs that were causing you massive issues and try to find a different answer to what Dynasty's going for.
EA not mixing up their bans. It's going to be curious to see what they last ban, because maybe they can take away one of these big threats. No, it's just going to be the Ashe again, so it's going to be the same bans there from the side of TA. It does mean that Tristana has been left open. Dyna have been the one banning it, but now they're going to pick it up. I assume it's going to be in the mid lane, but it's a flex, and it's just going to be Xayah instantly slammed. They can't pick up Rakan here yet. It is going to be the Lover's bot lane there in the Xayah and Rakan. Picked up, obviously, it's a really strong lane. It's a really strong level 2 lane as well, and it's these strong lanes that have been what TA has been playing around, and it's what's been successful for them in these first 2 games. So picking up the Xayah Rakan, Xayah obviously one of the best AD carries right now. She's performing incredibly well, going Kraken Slayer into Navori. It's just with all the other items being brought down, the items that Xayah builds and Xayah really enjoys have been lifted up, and then obviously with this Rakan, you're incredibly safe. And with Xayah Rakan, although Rakan is a bit lackluster in the early game normally, when you have this Xayah with you, it's obviously incredibly strong. That is,
yeah, this bot lane plays directly into what TA would do in the first 2 games, and that's just winning through bot lane, having the better duo.
Yep.
And it's okay. Lilia was not the problem. We're fine with running that back again. And the first 2 games have really felt the same from the top side. Like the top side has solo killed the opponent, I think, 5 or 6 times now throughout this series.
Yeah,
so they should probably not actually be. They should probably pick the top laner now, honestly, and say, oh no, they have to pick they could pick the, because I assume Tristana will go to the mid lane, but I also don't want to save. Maybe you do save top lane actually for the counter pick still, just because you know that that's one of your guaranteed win cons.
And it's going to be the Rel picked up here. So the Rel Tristana is a lane that you can go towards, but it also still could be the Tristana mid, so just keeping this flex wide open. It also could be Rel jungle Lilia top, not quite expecting it. But it is an option, and is it going to be Jarvan picked up in response? I believe, and don't quote me on this, that the jungler of T really does like the Jarvan. It's been banned away in every game here. So it's going to be picked up. It's going to be this Olaf banned away, which they've been doing every game as well, banning this Olaf away in the 4-5 bans. Just saying, we don't really want to lane against it. I do think it always leaves open a Mordekaiser pick, because I do think the top laner on the side of TA does play just a bit of the Mordekaiser, so maybe if it's a good angle for it, they obviously have the last pick there. They could look to pick something like that up, as they are going to have to pick a mid laner or a top laner here on 4-5, and it's just going to be the Ziggs banned away. And I'd expect another probably top lane ban here roll.
I don't know if the mid laner plays Jace, but Jace looks to be a pretty good pick that could fit into this comp.
Yeah, I mean, I think Syndra is up if the mid laner can play it. It's just an AP track. Oh, Veigar. Oh, Syndra is banned. They banned Syndra. Sorry.
Hey, Veigar's actually a good pick as well.
Yeah, I do like Veigar here. Obviously it's the double cage which keeps them in one place. With the Jarvan and the Veigar, which it's just a lot of synergy in the team comp, because that's obviously what you want with Xayah Rakan. You want them in one place. You want them trying to engage on you, then counter engage with the cage. Oh, that rhymes. I'm such a rapper. Look at me go. Yeah,
Look at you go with the flow of the more.
Yeah. And then Rakan obviously Wing Zaya, shred through all the help pods as well. And it is the strong AP threat we did want to see come out from this mid lane. And I'm curious who we're going to see in response, whether it's going to be the Tristan mid. No, it's going to be the Misfortune picked up, which is a bit of a different style from what we've seen.
You're picking Misfortune into Jarvan Vega?
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
I guess they have the Realm. I mean, the Realm Misfortune is actually a pretty common bot lane because you can Magnet Storm them all together and make them impossible to escape the cannon barrage, but Misfortune to a Jarvan, I've never been a fan of.
No, neither have I. It's also Rakan also has an easy time of cancelling Misfortune out, and also Zaya has really an easy time of getting away from everything here. So I think maybe I'm giving draft advantage to TA currently. It's Renekton.
Okay. No.
The big brown croc in the top lane is just going to be Malphite slammed. In response to it, he's just going to be Malphite's just going to be really safe here. Yeah, and I think.
This is I'm feeling very scared for Dynasty right now.
Yeah, I'm certainly not a massive fan of what they drafted at all.
If they can get the combo, they win. If literally anything else happens, they just lose. I feel is like how this is played out. It's Malphite onto the backline, and the backline gets collapsed on by Jarvan, then Vega and Rakan come in, and goodbye to your team. I'm scared. Did you get frozen? Yeah, he got frozen in fear of what Dynasty is potentially going to have to go through this game. Very ironic, but oh yeah, if I had to give draft advantage to a team, then I think that probably goes into TA, the 2-0 up. Dynasty, not only they looked like they didn't have mental boomed after game 1, but now after having kind of thrown game 2, I'm definitely very worried about how they might react. But they're on a completely different side. Let's see if the game plan changes up in that way. As I guess we will go into break and hopefully get Zizjak back before we get into game.
welcome everybody. After a bit of a delay, there was a bit of an issue. The lobby got remade or something, but we're in now. Everyone seems all good. They're lining up for Game 3 of Summoner's Rift here.
Potentially the last one as well, which is not something I was expecting going. Well, actually, it was something I was expecting, just not this way around.
Yep. It is the as some would say, the dynasty has seemed to have fallen. Just a bit. But no, it is going to Game 3, and it's match point on the side of T here, who are on the red side this game, and the blue side is Dynasty. Nothing too skirmishy is going to be happening in these early levels, as like what happened in the earlier game. Sorry.
Yeah, very different level ones happening in all three games, but
Yeah.
Dynasty. If you're Dynasty side, you want to, not throw the game away level 2.
Yeah.
Oh, in the first 2 minutes. I was talking a little bit about how, if you're Dynasty, we thought they hadn't really mental boomed after game 1 because they built up that 4 to 5k gold lead, but then after throwing it, and now you're on match point, I don't know how your mental might be affected going to this game 3, but it's something again might be on the lookout for. But if they can pull back a win here and start the sweep, that would also do wonders.
Yeah, you would imagine it was. They might be a bit gone. Is this Jarvan is looking for this 3 camp clear? Rakan is doing a bit of an engager.
Oh, really good by the well. There's the Misfortune Way Ignite coming out from the Rakan. That's very aggressive as both VDCs go very low. I think TA kind of won out on that though. Although there is a lot more pots on the side of Misfortune starting that long sword, so maybe they'll actually have the health advantage at the end.
There is, but I think one thing to point out is that TA have the jungler advantage. Lydia won't be there for the play where Jarvan will be hitting level 3 off his grump just in a second. He is quite low HP, but maybe that is an opportunity for the Rakan to look toward a tank and try see if they can get this dive off. I would be slightly scared with this Brow level 2. They're actually, you are correct, getting quite high HP off this. Jarvan's going to decide there's nothing on, go towards his wolves. But this does also mean that there's going to be a Desire and Rakan are going to have an easier time contesting this crab, so it does look like there might be a bit of a scrap, but I would believe that Jarvan has the ability to pull up his bot lane, pick up this crab here. But as of yet, nothing too interesting, just small CS leads in the places where you'd expect there to be CS leads, right? The Tristana, the Renekton, getting their CS lead. They bring the lane bullies into the Malphite. And God, what's his name?
Malphite
got lanes. Yeah.
The mouth. Lilia actually getting caught out here. Gets the knockup. Managed to flash the Rakan knockup, but with that flash on the Exile, definitely going to get chased down. And that's first blood going up to TA. A little bit aggressive in the mid lane, but bad start for Dynasty and already not looking good game.
Yeah. I think Lilia should know this crab's uncontestable, right? With the bot shove. Also, I believe that there's ward dropped on the red buff of Jarvan there. They know it wasn't up. I'm not sure when that ward was actually quite placed, but I feel like if they got the opportunity to place that ward, they would have seen.
I think it was level 3 by Renekton.
Yeah, see, I just feel like if they got the opportunity to place that ward, they would have known if the Jarvan was up there, and when they didn't... he's dead.
Dive on the Malphite, manages to get out of the tower. Lily will come pick it up. So, okay, another lead going over to Dynasty's top side of the map. But that's the thing that's been happening the first 2 games. So, even if we're getting into an early lead for this Renekton, I'm not confident it's going to actually turn out to a win. Especially knowing that... Great flash by the Zaya. Rakan managing to come up, and that's a kill. Going over to TA's bot lane, and this is why I'm not exactly worried about Dynasty getting a top lane lead, because the bot lane is still coming out ahead.
Yeah, it feels like when you're Renekton, you get a kill onto the Malphite. It's like, okay, the Malphite's just gonna be 500,000 gold down. He's still gonna be Malphite. He's still gonna be tanky. He's still gonna be able to ult. So unless it's Renekton, which he could have the opportunity to carry quite hard here. Gets onto this Zaya, manages to get on top of them, through the peel. There could be white. Oh, sorry, I was just distracted a bit by the itch trading happening in mid lane. That could be this Renekton can transfer this lead in this if the Renekton Lilia Tristan on this top side, which is obviously a very strong and snowbally top side trio. If they do manage to get online, there are stuff to be done, but that needs to happen quite soon. They are quite early game aside from this Lilia. They need to probably be funneling gold onto this Lilia. She is their solo AP yet again. And I think that was one of the problems that Dynasty faced last game, right? Renekton was just gonna slice and dice out of that. I feel towards the team fights, they had no AP threat. Lilia wasn't doing all too much there. And I think that was one of their problems in the team fights.
I am not a fan of the Sheen pickup for the Malphite. I like the Malphite pickup in this game, but not because you're like, oh, I'm going to counter Renekton with it, because you don't counter Renekton with it, right? You pick Malphite for those team fights to get onto the backline of Tristana Misfortune so you can interrupt them. You don't pick it to win lane, and you only build Sheen so that you can win trades with your opponent. So the fact that you're already falling behind, I think you just need to work towards those armor components for the team fights and say, okay, I give up. I'm just going to try my best to farm this lane now, but I don't care if I fall even 1,000 or more gold behind. I'm not here to beat the Renekton. I'm here to win the fight.
Yeah, I mean, he's going to be working towards that Iceborne Gauntlet there, but
Oh, Tristana coming down. Oh, get onto the card. They are very slippery champions though.
I think
where 4 people collapse and they actually get out.
Yeah, I think if they went a bit too far there, this Zyre and Vigo would have been able to collapse now. And this lead in the bot lane is just getting bigger and bigger. There's already 1,000 gold lead onto this Zyre, which feels like this has been happening every game. This AD Garage has been getting a big lead. Piplup has just been playing incredibly well in all 3 of these games, getting these leads. And yeah, as we said, they need to be focusing towards this top side. I think on the side of Dynasty, they need to be using the advantage, because the advantage they have is not in the bot side, right? The draft advantage they have, the pressure they have, is not in this MF rail lane. That's playing for team fights. That's playing to trade out on those 2 items in the MF, see if they can get a big ult in a choke. So I think Lilia coming down here and trying to impact this isn't gonna work. I think the Rakan, the Jarv, and the Zyre, they're all incredibly slippy. They'll all be able to get away from the Lilia engage, which isn't too deadly anyway, especially pre-6, and now the Zyre has her ult up, it's even more difficult. As Lilia is just going to walk into the jungle as there's a bit of trading going on. Vigo has first move here.
Malphite actually not losing all of that much damage, but okay, testing on this red buff.
Yeah.
It's my advantage, both of them have it, and Jarvan is the one to get it. Okay.
Jarvan should just
coming down the cage probably oh, not even needed actually. Lilia just goes down as Jarvan's flashing into his own cage. Now Tristana's trapped as well. Malphite forward mana though. I think he only has time for 1 ultimate, but instead they're going to try disengage. Renekton going back onto that Malphite. I think Malphite is just going to be able to walk away. Q slow is going to be enough, give it speed. Maybe flash W at the tower? No,
it's still 7 seconds on that cooldown. Well, also it's quite safe because Rakan is up there. So I'm just going to be happy catching this wave, getting some solo XP, and it's just really well played there. Jarvan just called his team over. Managed to almost solo kill the Lilia, just disrespecting that early damage that comes up when he unstacked core fields and the Iron Spike whip there apparently. The ult coming out, the Vigo manages to do the damage on top of that, so well played, yeah.
I feel like they banned this job in the first 2 games for a reason, but decided no, we have other problems to match with now. Renekton getting the tower play and Malphite going aggressive because Renekton big tower. One more flash. A little bit out of range, potentially had no more mana, decided, you know what, I will take the flash, I'll keep the flash advantage, and, you know, I guess the Renekton gets a plate, but loses flash for it.
Yep, Rakan is just going to be spotted walking down here, maybe that's Lilia being a bit of a human ward there, to give knowledge to the bot lane that a gank is incoming, but is Lilia not coming to counter this? She must know what's happening. So she's going to run pot note, Jarvan's moving away anyway.
Yeah.
I mean,
you do have the exhaust on the misfortune, so it does kind of appear to dive attempts anyway.
Yeah, but I think Zaya also has cleanse up, so I don't think they're too worried about the exhaust coming out.
That could also go on the job. Oh, there's the exhaust going down, and there's the combo, but Zaya just decides to go up in there and dodge all of them. Yippee, I'm Zaya, I can dodge everything. As Lilia comes down, ball misses again, not going to have any follow-up, and that's a lot of health, and all the summon is gone for Misfortune.
So there's a bit of trading going on the top lane. Now the dive angle is trading, and there's no ult or exhaust on either of the bot lane here.
Yeah, oh, Javan goes in, and huge Cataclysm catching all members just completely trapped in. They don't even need the bot lane. Javan does go down, but that's complete bot lane devastation for Dynasty. Wow, this is already getting away from them.
Yeah. And now it does really feel like you can see the mental struggle coming out from Team Dynasty here, right? It feels like they're trying to force players. It feels like this bot lane was kind of a desperation pickup from them. This MF route they're trying to nullify because Pitflop has just been playing so much better than the enemy AD carries, it feels, and the enemy support. So they tried to say we're gonna pick something that can team fight, and now it's just getting dove over and over again by this Jarvan which they let through. And coming into this game, it did feel like they were coming with the idea that we're not going to let this Jarvan through. Obviously, it's a big champion for the jungler. Give me a cup twice there, so they did decide to let through this game, and I'm not sure if that's something they could afford to do because this Jarvan has been playing incredibly well this game, making these plays around the map. So.
Well, it's not even the fact that Javan was... I mean, they picked Javan to Relm Tristana, which aren't necessarily scared of the Javan because they both have mobility to get out of it, but then they picked Misfortune into it, which, you know, Javan loves that pick, so of course he'll count bot, because Misfortune does have sons, you're not going anywhere.
Yeah.
As that's what's kind of been happening.
I mean, it's still not all over, right? Renekton is still winning in this top matchup.
Never say it's over, well, that's...
yeah.
Even with the Vega Realm, Tristana hasn't actually got all that much damage down onto this turret. Well, I think... Okay, no, there's a tiny bit on that play. Zaya wants to go get it, but... Oh, Renekton play coming... In this one, as Rakan's going in on for Misfortune, that's going to be a kill going over to them. That's Flash Malphite coming in just a little bit too late, not Flash ult. The job instead going onto the MFF, taking her down. Malphite tanking up the Renekton in the rail, looking to potentially turn it. But that is too... No, actually, it's just a trade of ADC. Rakan actually managed to survive, so both ADCs going down. I don't know, if you're a Dynasty, that's not the worst thing to happen, but...
No, it's definitely not just a trade of AD carries there. There's more gold versus Renekton, which is someone who you really need to get gold on to try help out your Lilia, help out your AD carries there. He's the one that can really do things in this game currently. But Renekton does tend to fall off like a truck, especially if you're going towards the Gore Drinker Bruiser build. You can struggle in the later fights. And I think now what you're worried about is we did talk about the Zaya quite a lot, but this Vigar has just become absolutely massive. He's on about 300 AP, 128 stacks at 13 minutes, which is generally quite good for the Vigar. He's stacking at quite a fine pace there, just getting that up and up and up.
And the lane swap coming up now as well, so you know they're fine with matching their mythic Zaya versus the mythic Renekton. Like they aren't really scared of him, and just hopefully to get a few more plates on the Zaya, but not able to before 14 minutes. So no first tower yet, but still a 3k gold lead at 14 minutes for TE on match point. They're looking really good.
Yeah, they're looking in just a fine, comfortable position. Malphite's just going to be able to tank up this wave, as you said.
Also a little bit aggressive. Doesn't even have his mythic yet.
Nope. But now we can just look at this bot lane just shredding this turret.
Hopefully doesn't get the ground
in this jungle here.
Oh, really aggressive on the Zaya. That's a huge amount of damage. Before Animal shows up, Vega's just there to take up the kill. Immobile jungle gets Cataclysm and gets sent back to the fountain.
Yeah, it's just the flag and drag away from sleep as well to make sure he's out of vision, so no one can get the damage on him. And
is Rift Guard going to expire? How long is left on Rift Guard?
I can never tell because they have not fixed this bug.
And Lily's gonna have to play the down as soon as she gets up, isn't she? Like, she hasn't used it and has had it for a while. Is she going? No, running a little bit. Okay,
I think
well,
no, I
let's
think it's still got a while left on it.
Well, first tower did go down and gold went over to the Xayah, so yay, more gold, takes the resets, gets a lot more items. And honestly, if I'm Dynasty, I mean, we're looking for a miracle at this point.
Yeah, I mean, you need to look. See, I just think it's so difficult. Because, I mean, you want to try get gold onto your double marksman here. But neither of the marksmen are really true carries if they don't get in front of me. Oh my, she's dead.
Oh! Not even any chance to survive with the Xayah, just goes up and down. Cleanses away from the slow slow, try and get away. Oh, Tristana flashes the Rakan W, managing to actually pick up the Xayah. Rakan not able to peel enough as Jarvan's here way too late. And that's exactly what Dynasty needs to take the hope in this series and keep it going.
Yeah, that's another kill onto this Xayah here, but it's still not going to be a bounty, so just 300 gold over to her.
But now they also get the tower as well. I mean, not exactly, you know, solo gold on for the Strana or anything, but, you know, Miss Fortune's out of this game, right? Like, she's not, you don't have to worry about it. But this Tristana, getting gold on her, that's going to potentially be a problem. So, you know, good on Dynasty, keeping the hopes alive.
Yeah, Tristana did find that play in the mid lane, did get the kill onto them. But I think what you're looking at this game and why you're so nervous as Dynasty is you're picking this Tristana to try destroy this Vigar in lane. Or you want to try really put him down and make sure that Vigar scaling can't come online. But she hasn't really successfully done that, so I'm still really worried about this pick here because I think this Vigar right now is going to massively outscale the Tristana. And so if you're picking Tristana, you're saying, yeah, I'm going to make sure their mid laner can't get ahead. And then I think with my composition, my Renekton has the ability to get onto this Xayah, this Rel, this MF ult can come out, and then there's not a lot they can do, just the one carry. But now it's truly like they're a 2-carry comp. I think that makes fights a lot more difficult.
The steal. Rakan's trying to peel away from the backside, but Jarvan still able to secure, putting them on soul point, but he does go down for his Renekton's in. Xayah is putting on a lot of damage from the back, taking down the Renekton. Veigar Cage makes it so hard to engage onto them, as Renekton, what's his name? Rakan is distracting the back line. Rel does go down, but honestly, Rakan and Xayah are playing these fights so well, the spacing and distraction from the fights just allows Xayah to put out so much damage, and that's a dragon and 2 kills going over TE for just the price of the jungler.
Yeah, I mean, the dragon, the jungler, I do believe, had just a bit of a bounty, but it's going over to the Renekton, who at this point in the game, approaching the 20-minute mark, the extra 150 gold on the Renekton isn't going to mean a lot. You do kind of want the gold on your marksman there in the mid lane to try get as close to a second item as possible to get towards that Navori.
I kind of feel like I've noticed a trend throughout all these 3 games is that when TEA overextend and the AD carry goes for those kills in those lanes, Dynasty is able to capitalize and punish them. They do it on the tower dives in game 2. They did it versus the Caitlyn at 1v3 last game. They did it again with the Xayah, trying to dive the Misfortune to the tower. But if TEA aren't doing that, they're not doing anything. So as long as TEA don't throw, it feels like they're unstoppable.
Yeah, and I think the problem is when they have looked at plays, especially in that first game, they just always went wrong, and then I think they've kind of been nervous to make any play after that. It's
potentially cut out.
Oh, he's just gonna walk away. He's perfectly fine.
Like Rakan was nearby as well, so I think yes, he would be fine at the end of the day. But now it's a Raquel going over to TEA as Dynasty. You just can't have to fight this as Renekton drops his up. It's like, wait, I don't have a team here. Oh, flashes onto the Xayah. No one's there to follow up, man. Zay gets a big gold ring and actually managed to get out as Xayah is very low in the back line. No, missing just onto the Malphite as well. Also engages, but again, there's no one to follow up. They're just engaging 1v1. They need to combo this, but instead there's no combo. But the Rel gets taken out and Xayah is healing backwards. No one else is able to get onto her. Lilia running out to sleep, cleanses out, manages actually not to take out Lilia, surviving on 1 HP, and this actually is a fight for Dynasty, except for the fact that all of a sudden Veigar's here to clean up, and that's 4 kills going over to TEA.
I think Vigar was bot side, just TP'd out a bit late into that fight, but no, it's still going to be clean up. The fight is going to go toward TEA here. The Rift Herald's going to be picked up in the midst of it as well for this Jarvan. Going to be able to crack open this top tier 2 if he wants to, or he's just going to be able to save the gold, maybe crack open the mid, and like he can really play it wherever he wants. This Xayah did walk in frontline into the Renekton, the Renekton was able to stun her, which made it quite difficult for her during the fight. She cleansed just a little bit late on the Lilia ult as well, taking quite a bit of damage. But she did manage to get out of a full combo. She managed to do quite a lot of damage in the fight. Then, as we said, the Veigar could just TP and clean up the fight there. Not perfect, and these fights haven't been perfect. This Tristana has been doing work. Tristana and Renekton have been doing work. They've been chewing through some of the health bars. But at this point, this Malphite is really quite tanky. This Veigar is so strong, and if you can't absolutely one-shot this Xayah before she can ult, she's also going to be quite strong. So you have like 3 people who you really need to worry about, and you need to be watching in team fights. And Tristana can't deal with all of them, especially because she's half an item behind the Xayah, half an item behind the Veigar, and he has his Rabadon's off. I'm just going to do a quick AP check here on this Veigar. Yeah, 689 AP at 21 minutes. That's absurd. That is pretty crazy. Yeah, this Veigar is truly online here.
I mean, they didn't combo all the CC in that last fight, but still took like 20 seconds for them to take down this Xayah, and you know, cool, you took it down at the end of the day at the cost of everyone else dying, so still worth it at the end. As now, Soul Point is happening in 1 minute here. Chemtech just also makes it harder to burst down the Xayah when they get tankier at 50% health, so... yeah, it's a tough one for Dynasty, but as long as they are able to, you know, hold out a little bit, it's not over.
Yeah, it's not Jova, as some of the kids may say.
Yeah, unfortunately though, with no flash onto the Renekton, the only real engage is that Rel, but you know, if they had Xayah ult, you know, Rel engage is very telegraphed, so I don't see any easy way to get onto it.
Yeah, unless Tristana just does a Psycho play Wing on flashing out. Looking for the insect play maybe onto the Xayah, but
uh-oh, and now Renekton's trapped in the cage, gonna get the CC locked all around. Will actually manage to get on a huge engage, but NFL coming out late, and that's what the Malphite's for, interrupting that NFL. Renekton goes down first, followed by the Misfortune, as Xayah's putting out a lot of damage in the backline light too, as well as the Malphite does manage to go down, but Xayah and Veigar just cleaning up this entire fight, and that's a very important ace for TA, as they're now just going to go to Baron and put a bow tie on a wrap-up of this series.
Yeah, TA are being so mean. They keep putting their horses and their crocodiles in cages. like we need justice for the animals of Summoner's Rift against TEA. Because then Veigar Jarvan's comp has been keeping people in one place, and there's not really a lot they can do against it. Was there? They're going to ping towards this dragon. That's going to be the Baron. That's going to be the Soul. And then you need to really look for one more desperation fight. But I'm not really sure if there's ever really an avenue to find it. I think they're just so far behind their draft. This Tristana didn't get as ahead as she wanted to. Renekton did get a lead, but it's not really transferred so much because this Xayah is just so unkillable. He has no real way for even if he gets on the Xayah to kill her and then also kill the Veigar and the Jarvan, who's also doing a lot of damage on this Item Spike as well. Just everyone on side of T as a threat. It's just been a really clean game from them. They did have a few hiccups as Xayah's just getting a bit overzealous as he's gonna get it again. Yeah,
and look at the damage from the Veigar. Even through the Renekton ultimate, just no chance whatsoever. I mean, and probably Lily's now next to join him. Oh, okay, flashes out from all the ults. Now Malphite is kind of alone, but Misfortune is going to tickle him a little bit. Under the tower, forced to flash out, Sleep coming out. This actually might be the turnaround. Yeah. This is what happens. TA goes way too aggressive and they're going to start losing, but okay, another kill onto the Lilia. I think that's still worth it for Dynasty.
Xayah's ending the game, by the way.
Oh, okay, never mind. I see a huge problem now. Yes, you get an extra kill, but yeah, you're losing your base. And I don't even think she loses this. She's just going to one-shot this Tristana, right?
No.
Oh, no, actually, not quite. Okay, that's...
Wait, what on earth is Xayah building?
I should know this. But because this is exactly how EA, you know, kind of throws these leagues as they go super aggressive. Dynasty punishes it. This happens every single time.
Wait, there's no way. I never knew there was a thingy in Phantom. Oh my god, that is slightly embarrassing.
That must have been that was a change in the item upgrade.
Yeah, it was.
Update, I mean.
Yeah, it has to have been. That's my bad. Phantom Dance is picked out. That is going to be the third item on the Xayah.
I think Zazaya, she felt that she could just walk into the base and end if they had them on the bot lane distracting them. It's like she should be calling to her team, oh, can we stop the recalls, please? But then she forgot that they could just like use their legs and walk.
Yeah, it's not like it was a huge goal. Like they maybe lost a few hundred off that, but if you're TA, you really don't care at this point.
No,
you know how far ahead you are. You can give up a few thousand and still be completely fine.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think they would want to. I think they'd rather keep this game nice and secure. They're gonna have I would expect they wanna try their best to finish this out before the next objective spawns because they don't really want any way to get back into this game here. Oh my god.
Wait, what do you do as Renekton? You stand there and you get paged, and there's half your health bar, and now he's not going to have ult for the next fight to save his base. I mean, it just hurts.
They're just going to be pushing this wave. This Vigar, this Xayah, they're both going to one-shot this turret. They're going to be one-shotting this inhibitor as well. The Nexon's back in base, and now it's time for their last-ditch effort to try get them. Rakan is pinging his flash. He's ready to dive in on them.
Yeah, Malphite and Rakan looking to go in. Rel is the one that goes in, but doesn't catch anyone's flash. Magnet Storm. But Rakan is there distracting the Tristana and Misfortune, not able to actually get any combos off, as instead TA is just going to completely wipe the floor. This fight is not even looking close, as Rakan actually does to go down there, as they trade 3 for 1 so far. Yep. But the carries are still alive for Dynasty. The game's not over yet. Health bars are kind of low all around. The Cantrip is still helping keep them tanky a little bit. All the minions are flooding in though. Tristana looking to go onto the Xayah, but she flashes away. Jarvan coming back in. Goldringer's up to keep enough healthy, and Lily is just going to have to stand around, watch her base die, watch her necklace fall, as TEA take the series 3-0.
Yeah, GGs are going to be called, and TEA are going to be your Risen Rampage League winners.
And that really honestly wasn't very close of a series. Besides the deficit in the early game of Game 2, TA kind of just came in with the game plan. They kept 4 of their bans across all 3 games, set banned in 2, Blitzcrank banned in 1. Yep. They knew their plan, they stuck with their plan, and you know, a few hiccups every now and then going aggressive, but honestly kind of just steamrolled this series.
Yeah, I mean, it was well played all around. They did have a few deficits in the in game 1 and 2, but they found their way to teamfight back, and they just seemed like a better, more coordinated team. And I recall earlier in the series we were saying that's all it was going to come down to, right? Whoever was the more coordinated team, whoever was the stronger team with the team fighting, was really gonna be able to take this one, because that's the compositions that were drafted. And I think in game 1 and game 2, Dynasty really had plans, and they had ideas come into this team fight. To come into these teamfight comps, and but after that didn't work, they just tried to throw out a last ditch effort with this Realm Misfortune Renekton Tristana comp, and yeah, I think after that one they were just a bit mental boomed, and TEA just had a lot better comp, and it just led to them winning the series and winning the league altogether. So just really well done by them.
I mean, all that you can win every single game, but you don't win those finals.
Yeah.
You don't get the cup, you don't win the trophy. So, you know, congrats on Dynasty for a great season, but unfortunately, when it came to the finals, TEA came in here just better prepared, honestly, and they just knew what they wanted to do and managed to do it.
Yeah, I think we're gonna get an interview from Give Me a Cup twice. Hello.
Hey, what's going on?
How you feeling? Winner, huh?
Oh yeah, we're excited. Nobody's more pumped than my top laner. He is.
Yeah, so we got the jungler of Tenebrous Esports Astral. Does that sound good?
Yes, it sure does.
Yeah, all right. So yeah, it's just great series. It was 3-0, not quite what we were expecting here, I think would be safe to say. But yeah, how are you feeling?
Feeling great. OTF, please join my team. That was the whole point of this. We're a better team, please. We need a mid laner. Sorry.
Yeah. Okay. No problem. So just a quick God, I don't even know what to say. It's 4 a.m. So let's talk a little bit about those games then, shall we? So the first game, you're coming in with the Maokai Zac. You fell a little bit far behind. Is this something you're expecting them to let the Kaiser through, and then is this something you had planned that you're gonna do this this double flex comp or?
Yeah. So going in, so this team hasn't dropped a game all split.
Yeah,
So
we saw we
yeah.
mentioned.
So we had like a whole like TE hands on deck, like every single person giving input, and we assumed they were gonna give us blue side.
Yep.
We knew Koopa has a whole lot of ego and was gonna give Kaisa, even though it's the most broken ADC in the game, maybe one of the most broken champions.
Yeah.
So we knew that's happening, and then we also knew if they lose one game, they're going to mental boom because they haven't lost. Like, how can you play around the fact that you've never lost a game, right? Like, that's not a. If you've never lost a game, you don't know how you play from behind. There's so many factors. So we knew if we just take one game off of them, it was free from that point, right? Didn't expect them to troll their mid laner and put him on Yone Tristana when he's like the best fucking mage player. Sorry for cussing. The best mage player in the entire league by a mile. Like, I was shocked by that. Hey, OTF, we wouldn't do that to you, bud. We would always give you prio. Come join our team. Anyways, but yeah, so we just knew we had to win game one, then the series was over from there. Like, and we knew exactly, like, we locked in our champions so fast we knew exactly what's happening. Like, we knew Coop was gonna ego and give us Kaisa. We knew we wanted Maokai Zach. It was free. Game one was the easiest game. We knew from that point on we knew we were gonna win. We weren't even when we were down game two.
I was going to mention that fact that after game one, we were talking about if the Dynasty was going to mental boom a little bit, but it looked like they actually were going to come back as they gave a 4K to 5K goal lead in game two before you guys slowly were managing to which will lay and come back from that. I was wondering if you were at all nervous going into game two and progressing through. You're like, okay, we're falling behind a bit.
Honest to God, at no point did we think we were going to lose any of the games. Like, genuinely. We knew once we won. I'm saying once we won game one, like, how does a team that's never lost a game going to deal with losing a game? Not well, probably, right?
Yeah, I mean, you could really see that when they're coming into their third draft, right? You could see like their bot lane just clearly isn't used to losing, right? So they try to come at you with something misfortune rather they're gonna pick a Renekton for their top side to try stomp a Tristana to try stomp, and then like it obviously all just falls apart from them. Some good ganks from you, good reads. Reading the Lilia coming into the bot side, and then you just got your Vigar incredibly far ahead. You could really see that, couldn't you?
Yeah, Did they have a coach all year? Does anyone know, or is this like a new thing that the coach drafts for them?
Does
anyone know that?
I don't know.
I'm
pretty sure Daydream drafts for him all year. She drafts for him every league.
Okay. Okay. I was wondering because it was weird. Their draft was not. We didn't expect what they picked mid. That was the one thing we're really surprised by. And then Cooper kind of fell apart after losing game one. Just collapsed.
Yeah, I mean, the Ezreal did kind of. It did fall just a bit far behind, and then did you just feel like even when the dives went a bit awry, you're like, we're fine, we're getting golden Caitlyn? Was that just always the ideology? You just felt like you had trust in your team, and then if they were a bit mental boomed and you thought you could carry?
Ormond, what do you think? Because you were pretty down game two into the Camille. Did you ever feel like we were gonna lose?
No. I mean, even the few times that I died, the one solo death that really hurt was the Camille flying over the wall and just killing me like out of nowhere. But everything else felt close. Like, I picked the Urgot to stop the Camille split push. Kind of held Camille in lane to stop in the team fights. Camille never really got to dive the ADC. Game one, the Maokai pick was just utility. Game three, Malphite ult. Like, I knew that. Shout out to Outrage. He's my bud. I knew going into this game he was going to dumpster me. So the plan was, if you watch the games back, Jeremy never warded on the top side, and I hate him. He never came top. If you listen to our comms, he's like, okay, you're probably going to die. They're going to dive you. It's okay. Like, just die as little as you can. And I was like, okay, whatever. Like, we played for the team fights, we played for the objectives, and that was the goal the whole time.
And dying as low as you can is usually a very good thing to do.
Yeah. Yeah, well, when Outrage is just literally forcing it in your throat, I mean, it's still hard when you're dying under the tower at level 1, 2, 3, 5, and 7 every game,
Hey, I'm a top laner. I know that life.
Right.
I told them we are gonna be camping Koopa in his child bride all game, and that's what we did. That's the bot lane of them, and so we just kind of sat. I sat bot and said, "Sorry, Ormond, have fun."
Yeah, and I also want to give a shout out to Koopa and Raven. These are my previous teammates. They're cracked. I love them. I wish them the best.
That's
I
not what
don't
you
know.
were saying in call. That's not what you were saying in
Shut
call.
up, bro.
Okay.
If you don't stop, if you don't stop,
Hey,
it's a troll.
if we're gonna be fake, sure, okay.
Okay, I hate you. I hate you. I never said one bad thing about anybody on your team. I've hyped up outrage all night.
Okay, bro.
Oh my god, I hate you. I hate you so much.
Okay. So we're just gonna lie. Yeah, it was a close series. They're really good. OTF, don't join our team. We don't need you.
I hate you. Oh my god.
I thought we were lying. Okay. Yeah.
It was a bit of
Like I'm reading between
I
some
actually
lines
think
here.
that they're a better team than us too, by the way. But like I said, once we win, if we could take one game off, like it was the series over.
Yeah, I mean, did it? Do you feel like it helped you like losing to them? Because I had a quick look at the games. Your games against them earlier in the split weren't the easiest to say.
Oh yeah, no, that was the worst thing that happened to them because the roster we had at that point was just like a couple it was pretty casual, it was kind of fun. Then I saw OTF play and I was like, holy shit, dude, I want that guy on my team. So I redid the roster and I'm like, my goal is to beat him and then try to get him to come play for my team. So that's what we did. So yeah, OTF, one bud.
So I think
we'll never make you play Tristan or Ione, I promise. We won't do that. You can play Ori, Victor, Syndra, LeBlanc. I promise, bro.
I mean, you abandoned the Syndra LeBlanc away from them, so.
Oh yeah, no, we're gonna make it play something else, which they kind of troll picked him, but it's okay. It all worked out.
Do you guys have any shout outs? Anything else you want to say, or just a love letter to the mid laner of Dynasty?
Ormond, say something. You're the Orgoner. Go.
I didn't hear the question. One more time. Sorry,
He said, "Do you want to have a shout out? What are you doing? It's the only thing you have to pay attention to all year."
Sorry, Outrage was DMing me, bro. I
No
told you.
way,
bro.
bro.
So first of all, I want to shout out Lucas. He's my younger brother. He's the goat. He made this possible. Genetics on Conduit, they're great. I saw him in the chat. Dynasty as an organization, I think they're freaking awesome. I've talked. I know a bunch of their members. I know Golden. I know I know Outrage pretty well. He's been my bud for a long time. And my teammates, Jeremy he is the dude that holds us all together. He is the biggest troll in the world, but it makes it like even when I was getting crapped on, it made it feel like we were fine. Piplup played out of his mind. Dude came out of nowhere.
Oh yeah, hold on. Let me shout that man out. So he had the role swap like 2 weeks ago. I'm like, what ADCs do you play? He gave me a list. I'm like, our coach gave him 3 that he should play, and the dude just spammed them out. Got really good at them, and played really fucking well. That kid's amazing. Yeah, shout out Ash's Piplup.
And then don't forget about Bane and Beat, man. Bane was a solid laner all 3 games. He quietly carried, and then Beat having to switch from top to support, like, some people were calling to get him removed. Anyway, he did great.
It's true.
So just shout out all 5 people. It's my first chip as a co-owner of an org, actually playing. I broke my semifinals curse last week. I was 0-2 in semis, but like, it's awesome. I'm hyped. I'm about to go in the Discord and scream my lungs off. My wife's trying to sleep, but I'm sorry. It's great.
Well, that's great to hear. Just before we close this out, I've been told that the pre-made signups for Risen for the next split are now open. So I think if you look in the Risen Discord, there should be a link somewhere. I couldn't quite find it, but you should head there. Maybe this could be you next split. They wouldn't want you to be winning, but maybe you could. So just go sign up for pre-mates.
Run it back.
Cool.
Thank you so much for streaming, guys. Appreciate it.
Thank you, guys.
Yeah.
It was a fun series. Thank you.
Also, Koopa, you're cringe for switching your summoner spells when we agreed to have a fucking ruin swap. I forgot about that. Someone just reminded me. Fucking lame, dude.
All right. Well, I think unless there's anything I'm missing, that's all I got. Everything today.
All right, later, boys.
See y'all. Have a good night, everybody.
See ya.